So we're getting very close to the action here now at the Incora County Ground. We'll be preparing to welcome the players very soon. We want to remind all spectators that we stand against all forms of discrimination and there is no place for it in our sport. We will embrace and celebrate differences everywhere, knowing that without diversity, we are stronger. We are dedicated to raising the game, so if you witness it, challenge it, call it out. Here at Derbyshire, report by emailing edi@derbyshirecc.com or speak to your nearest steward. This is now our countdown to blast off. Please give a huge Incora County Ground round of applause and cheer for this evening's Guard of Honour performed by Dynamos Juniors from across the county.
Match between Derbyshire and India, T20 action on an evening when there is plenty of other T20 action as well that we're going to keep an eye on. The two teams, India, Sanju Samson, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Deepak Hooda, Surya Kumar Yadav, Venkatesh Iyer, Dinesh Kartik, Aksar Patel, Ravi Bishnoi, Avesh Khan, Arshdeep Singh and Umran Malik. Derbyshire, two changes to their side from last Friday and two debutants as well. Hilton Cartwright and Ben Aitchison are in the side. They're replacing Hayden Kerr and Alex Thompson. Lewis Rees and Shan Masood. Wayne Madsen, Leas Deploy. Oh, that's not good. Back in the room temporarily online. Hopefully it'll stay stable. Blimey. That's the last thing we need. So anyway, I think the teams have been read out. Lewis Rees, Shan Masood, Wayne Madsen, Liz Deploy, Brooke Guest, Alex Hughes, Matty McKinnon, Hilton Cartwright, Ben Aitchison, Mark Watt and George Scrimshaw. And the Derbyshire openers are on their way out. 55 seconds according to the big scoreboard before we get underway. I will be joined by Lauren Tuffrey at some point when she's finished her duties herding cats out there with the youngsters who've just formed the Guard of Honour. She's coming up to join us in the commentary box. It'd be great to work with Lauren again. She'll be here with us on Sunday as well. India won the toss, put Derbyshire into bat, and I'm told, thank you to David Griffin, that we're playing on a hybrid pitch for the first time here at Derby, and this hybrid pitch, well, we are looking right down the barrel of it. And the first bowler we're going to see this evening is Axar Patel. A name those of you in England who are watching will be familiar with from the IPL and elsewhere. Now I've got a phone call, excuse me. Somebody asking me to dial down and dial back in again, which I've done, and we've had one delivery and Shan Masood's off the mark, and hopefully things will continue to run smoothly from here on in. Second delivery from Axar Patel is defended by Lewis Rees out into the offside, and there's no run. You could be here at the ground for hours. Anyway, Patel is in again, bowls. Accurate. They go through for a quick single. There's a bit of a juggle there in the field by Avesh Khan. And they do get through for a single. One apiece to the two batsmen inside the opening over. And Derbyshire are up to 2 without loss. Next delivery is turned into the leg side nicely by Shan Masood. They've gone for 1. There is a man out on the boundary sweeping. That's Arshdeep Singh. And they get through for another single, move on to 3 without loss. Axar Patel balls. That's on leg stump. It's gone straight up in the air off the bat of Lewis Rees. He's going to be caught, and he is caught. And Lewis Rees is starting to find ways of getting himself out here. He can't quite believe it. The ball went straight up in the air on the leg side. And Axar Patel has his first wicket. And Lewis Rees goes for 1, and Derbyshire are 3 for 1.
Incora County Ground, please welcome out to the middle, your new Falcons batsman, 77, Wayne Madsen.
Disappointing end for Lewis Rees as Wayne Madsen comes out to bat. Wayne Madsen in terrific T20 form along with the skipper Shan Masood. We'll get to those other games momentarily, but it's been a little bit hectic in the opening stages here. Well, Lewis Rees only faced 3 deliveries. And I think there's going to be an update. Oh dear, I keep getting some terrible noises in my ears. Come on. No idea why. I think it's the internet connection here. Anyway, Shan Masood has just picked up another. No, it's the connection with Manchester that keeps going in and out. And I apologise if you're listening at home and can't. And it is interrupting you. Not much I can do about it, I'm afraid. End of the over anyway. 4 runs from it. 4 for 1. And it was Imran Malik who took the catch. And we're going to see Arshdeep Singh bowl the first over from the city end. Let's have a look at those scores from elsewhere, shall we, just for a quick moment. Again, apologies for the really dodgy connection with Manchester. Nothing I could do about it at this end. And it will be Shan Masood facing the first delivery. 3 from 3 he's got so far. Got an update for BBC Radio Derby listeners fairly shortly. An update in 30 seconds for Radio Derby as the first delivery from Arshdeep Singh is defended straight back to him by Shan Masood. In those other games that are taking place this evening, Leicestershire 70 for 2 in the 8th over against Northamptonshire. The other game of interest, of major interest, is Birmingham against Yorkshire in Leeds. The play is due to start at 7:05. Singh is on his way in. A single taken. We're in the second over here, Martin. 5 for 1 Derbyshire. The man out, Lewis Rees, caught by Umran Malik off the bowling of Aksar Patel for just one. He just lifted the ball into the leg side. There was a comfortable catch for Malik. India won the toss. They put Derbyshire into bat. Shan Masood, in his last game before he goes off to Sri Lanka with Pakistan, is on 4. Wayne Madsen yet to get off the mark. And Derbyshire are 5 for 1. So Wayne Madsen's first delivery then. As Arshdeep Singh on his way in from the city end bowls to him, and he's beaten him outside the off stump. Sharp delivery from Arshdeep Singh. Beautiful sunshine here at the county ground. Again, I might have to dial down and dial back up at some point, but we'll stick with it for now. As Arshdeep Singh is on his way in from the city end once again, bowling to Wayne Madsen. That one's clipped into the leg side nicely by Madsen. They've run the first one quickly. The ball's gone out to Umran Malik, and they've come back for a second. And it's the first 2 of the match. Let's just see if we dial down. Just ignore the noises in the background. Like those noises, they're exactly the noises I'm telling you to ignore. And you don't want to listen to this phone number either, because it won't work as a telephone. So even if you do, it won't work. So we're all up and running again, back online. Welcome back to our online listeners. You haven't missed anything. 7 for 1. Chaos. In comes Singh once again and bowls to Madsen. He just pushes it out into the offside. No run. There was a time this afternoon when we weren't 100% certain that we were going to get much cricket tonight, because it absolutely hammered it down. But the sun is now shining brightly. It's a glorious, glorious evening and a huge crowd. I think we're not far off a sellout. Plenty of India supporters in as well, which is excellent to see. Lots of people milling around. And here comes Singh again. Final ball of the second over. Bowls it to Wayne Madsen, who tries to lift it over the wicket-keeper, and it's outside the off stump. Too quick for him. 3 off the over. 7 for 1 after 2. This is a step up in class that Derbyshire are facing here this evening, I think it's fair to say. So in the North Group, Durham, who come here on Sunday, are 76 for 2 after 9 overs. That's against Nottinghamshire at Trent Bridge, in a game in which neither of the teams can qualify. Leicestershire 81 for 2 now after 8.5 overs against Northamptonshire. think a Leicestershire win is what Derbyshire are after there. And I know that a Birmingham win is what they want in the game between the Bears and Yorkshire at Headingley. And Birmingham, who were put into bat, have scored 1 run from the first 4 deliveries up there. There is a game at Worcester as well, where Worcestershire made 178 for 6. Lancashire currently 3 without loss. So you bang up to date with what's happening in the Blast. It'll be full focus on the Blast on Sunday when Durham are here. Avesh Khan is going to bowl his first over now from the racecourse end, bowls it to Shan Masood, who guides it away down towards backward point. They've run one. They're going to come back for the second as well. That's really good running, putting the pressure on the field as it was thrown to Wayne Madsen's end. Wayne Madsen has removed his, I think he's run into a fly or something. He's got something in his eye. Straight away he removed his helmet. I thought there was a problem, but I think he's okay. And umpire Paul Pollard is just going to have a look into Wayne Madsen's eye to make sure that there's no major problem, which I'm fairly sure there won't be. 9 for 1. Quite breezy. We've got 2 India flags, I think. I don't know what that other, unless that's a special Derbyshire T20 flag that I've never seen before. It must be, surely, because it's the India flag to the right of the members' pavilion. A flag I've never seen before to the left of it. Somebody will tell me if you're listening out there in the crowd or in the TV room, as in comes this next delivery, and that's a play and a miss from Shan Masood. Good delivery from Avesh Khan. There's much excitement up in Blackrod as well, where Fletcher Jr. is on 48 not out at the end of a T20 in which he opened the batting, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but he's still there. He did run the pro out, second ball. Avesh Khan turns at the top of his mark, and still a slip in place as he bowls to Masood, strikes him on the pad, ball pitched outside leg, would have been going over the top as well. And he's got to his 50s, first for his first half century in any form of cricket, I think. Anyway, I'll concentrate on this in the T20 Blast now. Khan turns. Run up of about 30 yards in and bowls, and that was pushed out into the offside. They're going to go through for a quick single. They're going to get there as well. There is a half shy at the stumps. There is somebody backing up as well, which is just as well. It was Ruturaj Gaikwad. The ball missed the stumps. And I think Wayne Madsen's just having the physio look to see if he can get whatever it is in his eye out of his eye. End of the over, incidentally. No, it isn't. Only 4 balls of the over gone. And Derbyshire have moved on to 10 for 1. As I say, it's quite a step up in class. A lot of these players will be playing against England on Thursday in the first of 3 T20 internationals. They've also got a series of 3 50-over matches against England. So in addition to the test match that's currently taking place, plenty of Indian cricketers in the country at the moment. At the close, at Edgbaston, India, 338 for 7 having been put in by England. So 2 wickets for Matt Potts, 1 for Ben Stokes, who's actually bowling. Ravi Jadeja is on 83 not out. It was a century from Rishabh Pant as well. He made 146. So India fighting back. At one stage they were struggling a little bit. 71 for 4, 98 for 5. But now they've closed on 338 for 7. 10 for 1 here, Derbyshire. Wayne Madsen's all sorted now, which is good news for him, and it's good news for the crowd, because basically that's what that means is we can crack on. And Madsen strokes this next delivery gloriously out towards the extra cover boundary. It's being chased down. It's being chased down, but it gets to the boundary. The man chasing it was Deepak Hooda. But that was a glorious shot. The first boundary for Derbyshire. The one ball of the over left, and Madsen moves on to 6. Masood has 7, 14 for 1. The cat herder has arrived. Lauren will be with us fairly shortly. This is what is pushed into the offside by Madsen. That is the end of the over. 7 runs from it, the best over Derbyshire have had so far. 3 gone. Madsen has 6. Shan Masood has 7. A glorious, glorious sunny evening here at the county ground. You wouldn't have mentioned it. Lauren, good evening. You can have a breath if you need one, but you didn't. I was going to say I haven't missed much. What you've missed is having an awful lot of technical problems, which all seem to have been sorted now. So,
well, it's good to be back.
Yeah, no, good to have you back. Really good to have you back. And you're with us on Sunday as well, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Yeah. For the big one.
It'll be an exciting game, that one.
Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it? We're playing Durham today, and that's the big. Oh, we're playing India today, and Durham is the big one. I never ever thought that would be the case. But that's how these things have panned out this season, with Derbyshire going for a place in the quarterfinals of the T20 Blast. Arshdeep Singh is going to continue from the city end and bowls to Masood, who clips that one down to long leg for a single. You were here last Friday, I know, weren't you? Lancashire
yes.
game. What was that like? Yeah, that was terrific, wasn't it?
It's a good game. We won't tell anyone, but we shut up shop early on the speed gauge so that we could stand and watch for a little bit longer.
Well, I can't imagine that many people didn't want to watch the end of it. Surely.
No, it was mainly just a few sort of kids that kept coming back every 5 minutes going, can I have another go?
No, you can't. We're watching the cricket. It's one of the finest games we've had here for a long time. Singh on his way in, bowls to Madsen. Short delivery over his head. 1 for the over, says umpire Peter Hartley. It might have given something more for that. Well, it was a very short delivery. Oh dear, really?
Starting early.
Already. Good crowd though. I think we're on for a sellout here.
It is really busy. I've just been round by the main gates, and people are still flooding in as well.
Remarkable.
So.
All celebrating Derby County's news that the takeover has been completed. Thank goodness. 15 for 1. Madsen on strike. Singh bowls to him, and he's smashed it straight back over his head. That's a glorious shot. 6. It's gone, about a quarter of the way up the sight screen at the far end. What a shot that is from Wayne Madsen. He's tried a couple of funky shots, but a good old-fashioned cricket shot turns out to be the one that gets him the 6.
I think sometimes you just need to keep it simple, don't you? And Madsen likes a good sort of cheeky shot here, a sweep or a ramp, but just proves if you play your proper shots right, they can go the distance.
That was beautiful. It was almost flat back, really, as much as a straight drive, but it was a decent shot nonetheless.
Bit of tennis.
Yes, yeah. Been watching a bit of Wimbledon, I imagine. He's the kind of sportsman, I'm sure, because obviously a hockey international as well. But he's the kind of sportsman I imagine if you gave him a tennis racket and told him to go out, he'd probably be good at that too.
Absolutely.
Belying his 38 years. 21 for 1. Singh halfway through his over, and that one is crashed away down to third man. There is a third man down to our right-hand side. That's Avesh Khan. And that means that they only get a single for that one. Madsen moves on to 13, 22 for 1. Yes, I was as nervous as a kitten last Friday.
I can imagine. I did feel a bit sorry. You were up here on your own.
I didn't mind.
I was stood down there by the demolition stand over there, hiding away in the corner.
It was just the noise. I've never heard a noise like it in the county ground in my time here, when every dot ball was cheered to the rafters. The tension, well, it was incredible. Here's Singh again. 5th ball of his second over, and that one's straight up in the air off Shan Masood's bat. He's going to be caught at mid-on. He is caught at mid-on, and Shan Masood goes in his final innings for a while for Derbyshire. He's been caught, and Arshdeep Singh gets his first wicket of the evening, and Derbyshire are 22 for 1. Just 22 for 2. I beg your pardon. Just got a leading edge.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to almost guide that one into the leg side there, and he's just sort of turned his bat on it a bit too early and caught the edge, and it's just popped straight up in the air. Really easy catch in the end, that one. They are the worst, though. When they go straight up and you've got loads of time to think about it, they are the worst. But never in doubt.
No, I didn't really expect the fielder to put it down. I'll confirm the fielder in a moment for you. But yeah, the last innings we'll see from Shan Masood for a while. He's not going to be here on Sunday, as far as I'm aware. Misses quarter-final should Derbyshire get there. He'll miss finals day if they get that far. He'll also miss 3 county championship matches, and that's why they've brought Hilton Cartwright into the squad, and he's playing this evening, so it'll be good to see the Australian. Not entirely sure where he's going to come in. He's not going to come in where he is on the scorecard on my computer, because if he comes in below George Scrimshaw, they've been lying about how good a batsman he is.
I was going to say, is he going to come in below McKernan?
I don't think he'll come in below. I don't think he'll be coming. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in next, in all honesty. Singh then on his way in and bowls. Well, that's a delivery that Wayne Madsen went for the hook, missed it, and gets hit. So I think he might even need, the physio's coming on. So a quick delivery from Singh, who beat Madsen in the previous over outside his off stump. It was, of course it was. It was Deepak Hooda who took the catch. He says, "You must forgive me if anybody's not listening in this country. If you are listening in the subcontinent, they're not players I see on a regular basis. Let's just put it that way." Well, that's the end of the over. 22 for 2 then, so relatively profitable with 8 off it, but a wicket as well. They don't want to lose another wicket in the power play, because as we all know,
we say it every time.
Yeah, it's always true as well. It's always true.
Yeah, Madsen looks like he's all right though, so that is the good news here.
Well, it is. They won't want to lose Madsen as well for the game against Durham. It's going to be Ravi Bishnoi to bowl the 5th over. So you've been busy since we last worked together?
Oh yeah, it's been manic.
Has it?
I've had lots of pathway games I've been at. Had just lots and lots of stuff going on. But started a new Falcons classroom cricket. We've started.
Oh, excellent.
Lots of healthy eating.
Oh.
VI cricket. Lots of different stuff.
Not sure whether it's Bishnoi bowling, and that one is pushed up towards long on, slightly aerially by Liz Deploy, who's off the mark. The first ball he faces. Yeah, healthy eating, not one of my
homemade hummus they've been making.
Homemade hummus?
The kids are not a big fan of it. They like making it, but then
surprised.
We turn around and say, "Do you want to taste it?" And they're like, "Absolutely not."
What is hummus?
Well, we make ours with chickpeas.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to make them, but that's what we've been using.
I'm sure I've had it, but
I don't mind. Flavoured hummus is all right.
But begrudgingly, I think I had it. This must have been nothing else. That certainly wouldn't have been in the house. I don't think I'd entertain hummus. Yes. Bishnoi walks at least half of his run up and then bowls. It's a big appeal for leg before wicket. Not out, says umpire Pollard, who's at this end.
It looked pretty dead on to me.
It looked all right, didn't it? And we're only seeing it from the other end. They mustn't have the camera. There is no camera at the far end, presumably. So,
unless there was a bit of bat, maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything, but you never know.
He's in again and bowls, and that one is pushed out into the offside by Madsen. There is no run. We will have updates every half hour as normal into Martin Williams' show this evening. So next one in about 10 minutes. Although I didn't manage to get on Sports Scene at 6 tonight with the Derby County news. People know this game's on, obviously. This one is driven down the ground. It's slapped down the ground, really, for a 1 bounce 4. It landed about 4 yards inside the boundary. Madsen's just chancing his arm here. He moves on to 17 off 13 deliveries, and Derbyshire up to 27 for 2 in the 5th over.
I think it's still smart cricket from Madsen there. The fielder was up, so it was a sort of back yourself to clear it. It's gone back now.
The fielder has stayed out on the boundary. He'll have to go into the offside, I reckon, here. There we go. 4 more out to the cover boundary this time. Just stepped back into the leg side. That's clever batting, isn't it? You manoeuvre the field with the first shot, in which you get a 4, and the second one goes for 4 as well, or the next one goes for 4, because they're all up in the circle on the offside.
Yeah, that's what good batters can do, is they can just make the fielders move where they want them to create those other extra areas for them. And especially in T20 cricket, that's what you need to do, don't you? You need to capitalise on it as early as possible, especially in the power play.
Well, no question. 31 for 2. Still got 7 deliveries of power play to go. Bishnoi is on his way in. 9 runs conceded so far, and that's another 4, so they make that 13. That's glorious. Out towards the long off, wide long off boundary from Wayne Madsen. 3 successive boundaries to finish the over. 12 off it. 35 for 2 at the end of 5 overs. 13 off it, I beg your pardon. I missed the single at the start. It was a good single from Lewis Deploy because it gave Wayne Madsen the strike. Very valuable. So quarter of the way through the Derbyshire innings. 35 for 2. It's looking slightly healthier than it was a couple of overs ago. And we will, of course, I'm torn. I've got to keep an eye on the scores elsewhere, of course. There's 2 games in particular that Derbyshire fans will be very interested in. Birmingham Bears are 44 for 1 in the 4th over against Yorkshire at Headingley. And the other game of major interest, if I can find it, which I'm struggling to do at the moment. There it is. Leicestershire 128 for 2 after 13 overs against Northants at Grace Road. Leicestershire choosing to bat in that one. Birmingham are put in by Yorkshire. The results go the right way tonight. Derbyshire are pretty much there.
I was going to ask that.
I think. I've done some calculations. Now then, this boy's a bit sharp, but that's disdainfully dismissed by Lewis Deploy out to the mid-wicket boundary just for 4. In fact, it hasn't got the got enough on it to get over the rope as it runs into the rope. But this boy, Umran Malik, is supposed to be the next big thing, and the first ball that he's bowled to Lewis Deploy has been dispatched for 4.
Just dropped it a little bit short, and we know Deploy likes to jump on anything that's short as well. Did think it wasn't going to make it at one point. You did say it was dispatched. I was like, it's stopping on its way.
Glad it didn't stop. That would have been terrible, wouldn't it?
Well,
It didn't have the energy to get over the rope, though. It just rolled into the rope. That's all it's got to do. Deploy onto 5. 39 for 2 now. And the left-handed South African waits. And this one's pulled backward of square on the leg side. And 4 more. It was another poor ball, really, from Umran Malik. And it was given what it deserved.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's quite got his field right here. Malik, he's sort of bowling a bit too straight for the field that he's set, and he's only got one out on the leg side. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. It was a sort of square leg, just slightly backward square leg. There's a third man coming now down below us to our left, and they've strengthened the onside with another fielder at mid wicket, but he's probably only 20 yards from the bat. And Deploy's been bowled because he tried to flick it over the wicket-keeper's head, and it's hit his leg stump, and he punched his bat before turning and making his way off. And that's short and not particularly sweet from Lewis Deploy. 9 from 4 deliveries. And Derbyshire lose their 3rd wicket inside the power play. They're 43 for 3.
Yeah, Malik changed the field there, and he also went from bowling round the wicket to over the wicket as well. I think I missed that before he started running in, and then sort of change of angle, change of field has sort of done it for Deploy. Felt like he needed to do something different, and it's not paid off. The ball also hit the stumps and rolled away for 4 down in front of us.
Well, he's supposed to be very sharp, isn't he? Again, we're not 100% sure how sharp he is. He might have broken a bail here or something, because umpire Harley's waving furiously to the ground staff, but they're ignoring him. Oh, he wants a bail. I think one of the bails has been broken.
Yeah, if I could break a bail, I'd want to keep it.
Yeah, he might get it as a souvenir, might get it mounted. There's Hilton Cartwright on his debut, making his way out. two players making their T20 debuts for Derbyshire tonight. The other one is Ben Aitchison. It's so good to see Ben Aitchison back out on a cricket field. He was 12th man down at Hove for the championship match. Did a bit of fielding, looked okay. But he may well get a few overs tonight as well. I want to ask you about the flag. You see the flag to the left-hand end of the...
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen that flag before. They can't both be India flags, surely.
No,
the one on the
can't be.
right is... I think the one on the left must be some kind of T20, Derbyshire T20 flag.
Yeah, I've never seen that one before.
But it
either.
looks like it's got the India, the BCCI badge in the middle, so...
We'll have to see if it's there on Sunday.
Well, if they leave it. If they forget it. So, we've got 3 deliveries of power play left. And in he comes and bowls to Cartwright, who plays and misses. Twice today as well, having got used to seeing when a player is out caught and the batsman cross the new batsman facing, it doesn't apply in this match.
Right.
Well, clearly it doesn't apply in this match. I wasn't told it didn't. But it hasn't happened in this match. When the batsmen have crossed, the batsman who's already in stays in there. So slightly different rules, or regulations they are, aren't they? We're actually playing to the old laws, or the current laws. Malik in again and bowls. That one is clipped full delivery into the leg side. And Hilton Cartwright is up and running with his Derbyshire career. Picks up a single and they move on to 44 for 3. They certainly don't want to lose another wicket in the power play. Brooke Guest, Alex Hughes, Matty McKeon and Ben Aitchison, who can hit the ball a long way, as he showed against Notts last season in that defeat in the championship, but he hit a 50. Mark Watt, who we know can score runs because he got a half century down at Sussex. And then George Scrimshaw, who probably can't.
Never know.
But we love him nonetheless. 44 for 3, I don't think he can. Malik bowls, and that one strikes the pads of Wayne Madsen about 1.5 yards outside leg, because he was backing away, and Malik followed him. First over from Malik goes for 9, and at the end of the power play, Derbyshire are 44 for 3. You don't know what happens when you lose 3 wickets in the power play, Lauren.
If you would take the wickets out of it, we'd take this for a power play.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wouldn't we? At the start of the blast.
Yeah, no
They've
question.
done right, but you've got Cartwright, he's settled his nerves, I reckon. He's got off the mark on his second ball, so we'd hope that would settle him to go forward now. Obviously, Madsen, we know he can score big, and he's been in some decent form recently.
Yes, not bad, not bad.
Well, I wouldn't mind to be able to bat like that.
176 down. Oh, well, I did get a first bowler in the second innings, but that can happen to a batsman. Any batsman could get a first bowler. 70 last Friday against Lancashire, and he started quite slowly in that innings as well, but boy oh boy did he time it well, and it was a real shame that he wasn't out there when Derbyshire got across the line, or at least it got to the end of their innings, because Lancashire were batting in the second innings. We're going to see Venkatesh Iyer, so he'll be the 6th bowler used by India, and he's bowling to Wayne Madsen, who gets a thick inside edge, and it goes down to the short fine leg. Gets away with that one. And he moves on to 26 from 17 balls, and Derby to 46 for 3.
Yeah, sometimes you need that bit of luck like that as a batter.
It's a terrific shot. Can't set fields for that.
It doesn't say it in the scoreboard,
no, it doesn't. It doesn't.
That's what I keep saying. Pay for the whole bat. Use the whole bat.
I know it was only me interested in the news from Blackrod Cricket Club, but it's very exciting as Iyer is in. It's pulled violently into the leg side for 4 runs by Hilton Cartwright. His first boundary for Derbyshire, and if that's the kind of shot we're going to see from him, we're going to enjoy watching him over the next month.
Yeah, that was a lovely shot. Just sort of fired off the bat. Almost like when you watch Masood bat, that was. Just looked sort of effortless. I think if he's going to bat like that, then welcome to Derbyshire.
He'll do for me. I was watching him. He was doing some fielding drills down at Hove. Lunch on day 3 or 4. Can't remember which. As Iyer is in again, and this one is on off stump, short and pushed away out towards the cover boundary. There is a sweeper out there, so he'll only pick up a single. He'll move on to 6, and Derbyshire up to 51 for 3. He's a huge human being.
I saw him in the car park earlier. It was a bit bad, though, because 3 of us from the office had just come back from McDonald's. So we were walking into the office with our McDonald's bags, and he just walked past us. So we were like, you're a unit, you are.
Isn't he?
And we're here with our Mackies. So...
You know, he's a big man. He's a big man. His calf muscles are enormous. 51 for 3s at the non-strikers end. Madsen's on strike. 26 to him, 27 now, as that one is pushed out into the offside square. Madsen turns as though there's another run available there, but there isn't. 27 to Madsen now, 52 for 3.
Oh, here we go. We've got news on the flag.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Apparently it's the Board of Cricket Control India flag.
So it is the BCCI flag. So
yes.
they've taken over both flagpoles this evening. That's interesting.
Thanks to my dad for that information.
You know, thank you very much. Cartwright waits. That's a wide one outside the off stump, and he hits it too well, really, because it flies to the man out on the point boundary. Cartwright moves on to 6. And it's 53 for 3. I'm sure there's going to be an update fairly shortly. No, there isn't, because there's some music coming on, so they'll tell me during the song when they're coming. Yeah, the great news from Blackrod is that Fletcher Jr.'s got his first half century in grown-up cricket. Absolutely. Unfortunately, this next one is carved away straight to the man at backward point by Wayne Madsen, no run. He got 53 in a T20 match, which isn't decent.
That's a good score,
but he did open the batting. He was only out in the last over, and the team only made 104. So
I think we should have just kept it. He got 53.
It's sort of not really. Well, the T20 cricket that's played by Bolton League clubs, end of the over, incidentally, 53 for, say incidentally, that's probably more important. 53 for 3 at the end of the over. The T20 cricket that I see club teams play, especially in the Bolton League, doesn't really resemble T20 cricket that I see county sides playing. It's almost just the 50-over game that they play on a Saturday, but reduced to 20 overs and lots of defending and all that kind of things, which is slightly disturbing.
Not like that in the Derbyshire League.
No, absolutely, it shouldn't be, should it? Umrah Malik, continuing from the City end, bowls quickly. That is a sharp delivery to Hilton Cartwright, who just leans back out of the way of that one as he goes past his nose.
That did look very sharp.
Didn't it? That was George Scrimshaw-esque, but not from the same height, and therefore probably didn't bounce as much as the deliveries from Scrimshaw do. That last over that he bowled last Friday was probably the most astonishing over I think I've seen.
Everyone was on edge for that over.
But he'd gone for 48 in his first 3 overs, and when the ball was tossed to him, I think there was just a collective sigh. Malik bowls full of delivery, and that one doesn't bounce, and it's a play and a miss from Cartwright outside the off stump. Didn't miss the off stump by much.
And that didn't seem to get up very high at all, that one, and sort of puzzled him a little bit there, Cartwright. But
Derbyshire's first game on a hybrid pitch.
I was going to ask, is this the hybrid pitch?
This is the hybrid, yeah. So it's one across from the pitch on which they played the first 3 home T20s. I didn't know until David Griffin tweeted, but we are playing on a hybrid pitch. There'll be an update in 1 minute, Martin tells me. Thank you, Martin. As Malik is in again, and that one angled towards his pads. Cartwright, and he's going to come back for 2, and he'll move on to 9 from 8, and it's 55 for 3 now. A couple of them seem to like it. Not sure why. Not sure why. So here we go then, an update for listeners to. The lights are on here, but you'd never know. Mainly because it's quite light. Cartwright 9, Madsen 27, 55 for 3. And Umran Malik is halfway through his second over, 1 for 11. He's in and bowls, and that's a play and a miss. That's another sharp dot. It's a no ball. And a free hit, so it was a front foot no ball. Whether it touched the edge of the bat, we'll never know. But there's certainly 1 or 2 fielders out there thought that he'd got a nick on the way through. I didn't hear anything. Here comes the update. Yes, Martin, we're in the 8th over. Very exciting. 56 for 3. We've just seen a no ball by Umran Malik, who is bowling extremely quickly. He's going to be the next big thing, they tell us. And unfortunately, though, he's overstepped. So we've got a free hit here. And he's bowling to the Australian Hilton Cartwright, who doesn't do much with it. It crashes into his legs and out into the onside. Lewis Rees for 1. Shan Masood for 8. Disappointing in his final game before he goes to Sri Lanka with Pakistan. And Leicester Ploy for 9, the men out. Wayne Madsen, 27 from 19 deliveries. Hilton Cartwright on his debut, 9 from 9. And Derbyshire, who were put into bat, we're in the 9th over, we're in the 8th over, and Derbyshire 58 for 3. We're in an over.
There is an over being bowled.
Yes, definitely. 2 deliveries of the 8th over still to be bowled. And Malik, oh dear, this is sharp. And another no ball, but I don't. And it's a free hit, but you don't get free hits for balls that are overhead height.
I didn't think so. So
that must have been a no ball for front foot. Either way, so it's a bit tricky to tell from here because we're right behind.
He did look over at his other.
He did, didn't he? That's what made me think it was for height. But perhaps he was just checking that it was another one for the over because he signalled that as well. It's a free hit anyway. 58 for 3. Cartwright didn't make the most of the previous free hit. He's going to swing himself off his feet here as Malik bowls, and he's smashed it straight into his pads, and it's dribbled out into the offside as Cartwright. He goes through for a single. He moves on to 10 from 12. Madsen has 27 from 19, and it's 59 for 3 in the over that just goes on and on and on. We've had 2 no balls, a couple of leg byes, 3 runs so far from it. 60 for 3, 7 runs in total with 1 ball of the over remaining. The long on has gone out. I'm not sure if he bowls as quickly as he has done, whether you'd be able to get it over there. I wouldn't.
It would be a very good shot.
Wouldn't it? There's a bit of space in front of square on the offside. This one comes off the edge of Wayne Madsen's bat and flies away. Oh, that's a good piece of fielding down below. It's a very good piece of fielding by Avesh Khan, who has to throw the ball back into the field of players. His feet were about to go out. At the end of the over, it's 61 for 3, 8 from it. He did well to keep them down to just a single. Cartwright has 10, Madsen has 28. Say Umran Malik, we were told he is the next big thing. I can't remember seeing it. I may have done on TV at some point, but he is bowling seriously quickly.
There's a few players around at the moment that you're looking at going, you are bowling gassed at the moment, and just you'd like to know how fast it is, wouldn't you? We've always said it about Scrimshaw. We'd love to know how fast Scrimshaw was bowling.
Georgia said it to us. It's Venkatesh Iyer bowling, and that one is lifted into the leg side by Madsen, who's caught. Out at mid-wicket, catch taken by Sanju Samson, and Madsen on his way. And he looks at the bottom of his bat because that is what it came off, and Venkatesh Iyer has a wicket. Madsen goes for 28 of 21 deliveries. Nice little cameo, but no more. 61 for 4 now.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to flick that a little bit squarer, I think, and it's not quite got where he wanted it to go, and it's just sort of gone up nicely. Never looked under any pressure at all, Samson there. Nice
no,
and steady.
Pretty straightforward. Out in the deep-ish. Obviously, it's a slightly shorter boundary square for the right-hander, where the ball is being bowled from the racecourse end, across the side of the square. It's quite a big square here at Derby.
Look at this. Samson's just taken a nice catch, and now he's signing a bat for someone over at the marquee.
That's good. That is good. Tosses the pen and the bat back to a steward who gives it to the spectator. That's excellent work. Excellent work. So Venkatesh, Iyer, Malik, Singh and Patel have all got wickets so far. As Iyer goes in and bowls to the new batsman, who is Brooke Guest, who gets off the mark straight away. That one takes a nasty bobble out in the offside, and it's well watched there by Ruturaj
That was
Gaikwad.
Cartwright, by the way.
Or was it? You're
Yeah,
absolutely.
because we're not playing the rule.
We're not playing the rule, are we? Thank you very much. I had a bit of a bang on the head last night. I didn't, but I was judoing last night. I was a judoka.
That's nice.
No, it isn't. I didn't. Well, I sort of enjoyed it. I was asked to do a forward roll, just so that I could land properly, and all the bones in my neck crunched. As I in and ball strikes the pad of Brooke Guest, who's the new batsman, and there's no run. But I didn't put my back out, which is an absolute bonus.
It's always a bonus. I went to a physio this morning.
Did you? Yeah.
I bowled for the first proper time this year on Sunday, and I was still feeling it yesterday.
Yeah, my right shoulder, because I wasn't really throwing them either, but I was sort of pretending to throw people. My right shoulder's really sore today. Iyer in again. Guest turns it into the leg side. No run. Guest won't have seen much bowling like this.
Yeah, it's a good challenge for some of the Derbyshire players who wouldn't come up against players like this before.
Still to come, Hughes, McKinnon, Aitchison, Wharton, Scrimshaw. But effectively the top four has been wiped out by India. Rees for 1, Masood for 8, Deploy for 9 and Madsen for 28. As Iyer is on his way in and bowls to Guest, who clips this into the leg side. And he's going to get his first run here. The ball barely reaches the edge of the 30-yard circle. And they go through for a single, 63 for 4. Yet to speak to Hilton Cartwright, but I'm sure he'll be more than happy to give us an interview on Radio Derby at some point over the next few days, either today or hopefully with a match-winning performance against Durham. That's the kind of thing we're looking for him to produce. As one of Derbyshire's 2 over-season T20, Hayden Kerr will be back. This one is pulled into the leg side by Cartwright. Picks up another single as it's fielded out there by Sanju Samson. 64 for 4. Lots of music going. That is the end of the over. Peter Hartley has this habit, and I should have got it by now. Only 3 runs off that over, incidentally. 64 for 3 after 9. But Peter Hartley doesn't always leave his position at the end of an over and just tries to fool everybody. I'm sure he does it on purpose. How about this for a scoreline? Birmingham Bears in the 9th over, 8 overs and 2 balls, are 8 overs and 3 balls now, 107 for 1. Now that means that if they don't get 200 at Headingley, they'll have disappointed to a degree. Leicestershire, 2 overs left in their innings against Northants, and this is a good score as well. 186 for 5 with 2 overs to go. So 200 on the cards at Grace Road as well. Wins for Leicestershire and Birmingham, I think, guarantee Derbyshire a place in the top 4 because Yorkshire play Leicestershire on Sunday in their final match. So they will merely be playing for whereabouts they finish in the top 4. Here's Bishnoi getting a new over from the City end. Is a nice little stop there, moving away to his right by Venkatesh Iyer that the crowd down below has enjoyed, but a single to Cartwright, 65 for 4.
Yeah, he's done well there to stop it. They stood quite close together, the 2 fielders, on the offside.
They're very close, aren't they, really? They're almost like
it's like those fielding drills you do all the time where it's like, you're always going to be near a fielder. We're all like, no, you're not, though, are you?
Not.
And then you are in this case.
Well, they're barely 2 of the white markers apart at backward point. The wicketkeeper Dinesh Kartik is just moving them round a little square, and he wants the short third man in a little bit. That's Gaikwad. No, it isn't. It's not Gaikwad at all. It's Malik. This next delivery is crashed out into the offside by Guest for his second run. 66 for 4. We will, of course, know the results of those games involving Leicestershire, Northamptonshire, Birmingham and Yorkshire before the end of this one. So we should be able to give you the updated table, which will tell us exactly what's what. That one is clipped back towards the bowler by Cartwright, who hesitated a little bit because he thought the bowler was going to pick it up. And then he sort of clashed Bishnoi with Guest, and in the end they did go through for a single, and Cartwright moves on to 14.
Cartwright looks like he's quite quick between the wickets as well. Like, he got down there very quickly then.
So he was chucking it in from the boundary, and the throws were fearsome. Bishnoi into Guest now. That one is playing him. I think he's missed it completely. If not, might have got an inside edge, has he? He has got an inside edge onto his pads, I fancy. The wicketkeeper couldn't deal with it either, and Guest moves on to 368 for 4. Expansive looking shot. Run rate 7. 2 balls of the first half of the Derbyshire innings left. That one is pushed into the offside by Hilton Cartwright. He moves on to 15. Derbyshire up to 69 for 4. I'm quite glad we're all back in T20 action. I'm not getting slaughtered.
Has it been a tough ride, has it?
Well, yes, I was reasonably critical of Derbyshire not enforcing the follow-on, and got absolutely smashed for it on social media. There were some people who supported me. You know who you are, and I was very grateful as Guest pushes this next delivery out into the offside for a single. He moves on to 470 for 4 at the end of the over. So 6 runs off that over, and we are halfway through the innings. That's what we're halfway through. 70 for 4. Cartwright has 15. Guest has 4. I've got a tweet here from Dom Hodgson. He says, "I'm sure you've been told." I hadn't. He says, "But you've got over 40,000 people listening to the Derbyshire YouTube stream currently."
Well, lovely.
Welcome along, everybody. Got about 5,500 inside the ground who aren't listening to me, and many, many more who are on the stream, and you're all very, very welcome.
I think it's been nice to see the numbers on the stream this year.
Yes.
Like, the numbers at the games have been good as well, but it's nice to know people are watching from all over the place. I know my grandma's watching from Brighton today.
I've got a message here from Samrat Manor who says Umran Malik is an extremely fast bowler and has bowled over 150, I think that's kilometres an hour, continuously. He says his new over from Venkatesh Iyer begins with a single to Brooke Guest. He moves on to 5. He says that 157 was his high speed in the IPL. He's from Jammu and Kashmir and plays for the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Samrat, thank you very much indeed. All information is gratefully received, and every day is a school day. Venkatesh Iyer begins his second over. We could see that he was quick. Bowls, and that one is off a pad. So it'll be a leg by. Cartwright will remain on 15, 72 for 4. It's amazing what you learn, isn't it? Amazing what you learn. But thank you to Samrat Manor for the email. You know how to get in touch with us if you want to. Fletch Sport on Twitter. You can fletchcricket@gmail.com, or obviously my other email account is on the on my Twitter handle. So that's how our latest correspondent got in touch. This next delivery from Iyer is played off the back foot nicely out towards long off, and there's a slip at the far end from Cartwright, which means they can't even think about coming back for the second. Guest moves on to 6, 73 for 4. Yeah, it was a bumpy ride down at Hove.
And then I was trying to check in every now and again. We were sort of had it on. We had the test match on. We had the stream on.
Did you get any work done at all?
Wow, it's been a nice week for cricket, hasn't it?
Iyer bowls. Oh, that's been whipped into the leg side. That might go for 4. It has gone for 4. That's a great shot from Cartwright. Picked that up nicely and whipped it away to just about square leg, perhaps a little bit in front. Madsen signals the 4 on the big screen, and Derbyshire move on to 77 for 4. Cartwright up to a run of ball 19.
Yeah, a bit of a drift in line there. Got a bit straighter with the ball, and it's just been flicked across through to mid wicket there. It's a nice shot.
It was just a flick, though, wasn't it?
It was just flick it along. Yeah. If I flick it, it's not even gone past the inner ring.
No, it's barely reaching the umpire. Cartwright flexes his knees, waits at Iyer bowls. He gets a thick inside edge on this one down to the man at short, fine leg on the edge of the 30-yard circle. So he picks up another single, 78 for 4. But it's always good, whether it's good or bad. Any kind of interaction is usually pretty decent, isn't it? So we got plenty. and got harangued on the way out of the cafe at lunch on day 4 by a Derbyshire supporter. Nobody's apologised to me yet, though. Guest waits, higher bowls, and he plays it straight back to him. Good stop in his follow-through, just leant down and got his right hand on it. 8 runs off that over, 78 for 4 after 11 now, Derbyshire, so just a touch over 7 runs and over. They'll want to try to up the scoring rate, but with 4 players already back and 4 good players already back on the in the dugout, they've just got to take it steady and perhaps hit out later than they otherwise might have done.
Yeah, I think it's picking the right time to go, isn't it? I think if Cartwright, and we know Guest can score as well, so if they can sort of get themselves in and tick along nicely and take it the bad balls when they're there, then they're still there with 5 to go, then that might be the time to go. But you just got to play it over by over at the moment, I think.
Yeah, assess the situation. Cartwright's an experienced cricketer and will no doubt do just that. The new bowler is Bishnoi. He's not a new bowler, he's continuing his spell from the city end, and advancing down the track was Cartwright. Played it straight back to the bowler, who had he picked it up cleanly. Ravi Bishnoi, he may well have had a shy at the stumps, but he didn't.
So some impressive movements from Guest as well at the other end, diving round to get out of the way.
Cartwright on strike, Bishnoi bowls to him, and that's clubbed out into the offside, just beyond the reach of the man in at extra cover, so they will come back for 2 runs. The man at extra cover, Deepak Hooda, is a long way inside the 30-yard circle, in fairness, so he's got to have good reactions. Cartwright moves to 22, Derbyshire to 80 for 4. They're making a decent fist of this so far. Next delivery's well clubbed down the ground by Cartwright. Moves to 23, 81 for 4. I just got the scorecard of that un-T20-like innings from Blackrod. 53 off 64 balls. That's not going to get you in many T20 sides. So, this next delivery is driven by Brooke Guest up towards long off. He moves on to 7. His strike rate was the second highest in the innings as well at 82. Dear oh dear, it really is. It's like anti T20 that they play in the Bolton League. It's ridiculous, really.
It's dependent on the game situation, isn't it, as
well?
They're just rubbish. You've got to give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt.
No, Lauren, they're hopeless.
The coaching me saying it.
They've only won 1 game all season, Blackrod in the T20. They're not a T20 side. 82 for 4. Bishnoi in, and that one's turned into the leg side. He actually danced into the leg side, did Cartwright. The bowler followed him, so rather cramped him up there. Cartwright still going at a run of ball, 24. Guest 7 from 10. The partnership is also a run of ball, 22. 83 for 4. Bishnoi, final ball of his 3rd over. He's got quite a wavy looking run up. He's been clubbed up towards mid-on, long on, and they come back for 2, and that's very well run as Derbyshire move at the end of that over to 85 for 4, 7 runs off it. In fact, there has been 1 double-figure over so far. That was the 5th, and it was Bishnoi who bowled that. Took 13 runs off him, Derbyshire, to move up to 35. They're now 85 for 4 after 12.
I think it's not a bad score at the moment. Obviously, you wouldn't want to be 4 down, but these two, Cartwright and Guest, are sort of getting the runs where they can and being sensible about it at the moment. No doubt if the ball's there that they're going to try and hit that boundary where they can, but they're playing the right game at the moment.
Who we're going to see now, Aksa Patel, I think, is going to come back. Bowled the first over, went for just 4 runs and got the wicket of Lewis Rees, who's finding new and weird ways to get out in T20 cricket.
I missed that. I was still sorting the Guard of Honour out at that point.
He sort of got a leading edge and it looped into the leg side, and he was caught by Umran Malik. Did get a half century in the second innings down at Hove. First ball of the new over from Patel is pushed out into the offside by Cartwright for a single. He moves on to 25, 86.
Oh, overthrows.
Oh, overthrows. He's got a couple. I'd already looked down to see what that took him to. He's moved on by another one as well. That's not great, is it? 87 for 4?
No, I think India won't be happy with that.
No.
Such high standards that they set themselves.
I was going to say, and even in warm-up games like this, you've got to play with those high standards, haven't you? Patel won't be particularly happy either because he conceded an extra run. Now Cartwright's picked up another single to move to 27, 88 for 4. It's always important. It's like in training, you have to train like you would play.
Yeah, and I think that you get your best out of yourself and everyone else around you if you do that as well.
Next delivery is pushed out into the offside. That was a bump ball. No, there's going to be a run out here. There's going to be a run out. There is a run out. And I'm afraid it's Hilton Cartwright who's gone. He turns around and look at the umpire. There was yes, no, well, I'm not sure. And in the end, Hilton Cartwright has been run out, and that is not good for Derbyshire. They were just starting to rebuild there with a partnership of 27, but Cartwright goes for 27. At a runner ball, and Derbyshire now 88 for 5.
I think a wicket like that is sort of always on the card, isn't it? When you've got somebody new who's come into the team, who's obviously not spent a lot of time batting with everybody yet, so they're not going to quite understand each other on that level. You know, we see it all the time, and I think that's going to play into that indecision for that run out.
Udan has just sent an email saying, who would you like to see from the current Indian group at Derby next year playing for Derbyshire in the County Championship or the Royal London One Day Cup? Well, I wouldn't mind seeing Umrah Malik, if I'm entirely honest with you, because he looks very sharp. But this is Axar Patel is an absolute star, isn't he, in the IPL. There's a lot of very good cricketers in India.
Samson's good in the IPL as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good players. Who is the new batsman? I think it's... no, actually, I say I think it is. I think it's Matty it's Alex Hughes, of course. It's Alex Hughes. That's who it is out there. I'm not sure why I didn't know it was Alex Hughes, and it's been pushed out. Well, it's not on any of the scoreboards yet, but I've been watching Alex Hughes since I started. What's happening down here?
Very loud today.
Getting very excited. Very excited. That one is pushed out into the offside by Brooke Guest for another single. He moves on to 10. 90 for 5. The man who threw the ball for the run-out was Deepak Hooda. As Patel is in again, he cramps Hughes up for room there, and the ball is played out into the leg side. And that was very high up on his bat, Alex Hughes, and he's looking at the stickers at the moment. 5 off the over and a wicket with that run out. 90 for 5 now, Derbyshire, after 13. This was never a game that anybody would have expected Derbyshire to win. Let's make that perfectly clear right from the off. But so far, they are second best, there's no question about it. But if they can get to, I don't know, I think they'll probably have to get to 140, which is what they could get to if they carry on with the current run rate, but they're already 5 down. They get to 140, at least it gives the bowlers something, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you don't know how good you are as a unit until you come up against some of these sort of best teams in the world, and it's a good opportunity for everyone, for like batters, to test themselves against the pace that the Indians have got, but also the bowlers to try their game plans out on the world's best.
Yes, indeed. Well, that isn't Bishnoi. Who's that at the far end who's bowling now? It's Malik, isn't it? That one is cracked away by Alex Hughes out towards the point boundary. It is Umrah Malik. And they begin with a single off the start of the first ball of the 14th over. Poor old Keith Johnson, get well, mate. He says, watching from his bedroom prison while isolating with the dreaded COVID-19. Would have been there tonight, otherwise his son Ollie has had to take his girlfriend. I don't know who's more disappointed. 92 for 5. Well, it's all very cosy inside the county ground tonight. It is packed. Malik in and bowls. That's pulled into the leg side by Brooke Guest, and it drops a yard, 2 yards in front of the fielder out there at square leg, Aksa Patel. Unfortunately for Guest, it does, because he moves on to 11, 93 for 5.
It looked like he just sort of was running towards it and was like, oh no, I'm just going to let it bounce in front of me.
I don't think he wanted to risk a broken finger. The first T20 international's on Thursday, isn't it?
Yes.
Broken finger means you're on the plane home. Malik was on his way in there, but stopped. He was back to beyond the edge of the 30-yard circle to start his run. Alex Hughes on 3, waits, and Alex Hughes pushes that backward a square on the offside and sets off for a single. Good piece of fielding by Sanju Samson, whose fan club is clearly down below us. And it was a good piece of fielding. I'm not sure it was worthy of all that noise there.
I think the beers are flowing, I think.
Yeah. 93 for 5. I've got the news in my ears, which means that Martin will be telling me shortly that there is under 30 seconds to go before the next update.
That's come round quite quick, that has.
Yeah. Absorbing cricket we're watching. Malik is in and bowls to Hughes, who guides this down towards third man. Avesh Khan does the fielding. They pick up another single. Hughes moves on to 4. 94 for 5. Those other games will be at the halfway stage now. 30 seconds before the update. Leicestershire made 214 for 6. Good effort, because batting has been a real problem for Leicestershire. And Birmingham are currently 145 for 2 in the 13th over. Ouch. That's against Yorkshire. If those two are won by Birmingham and Leicestershire, I think Derbyshire qualify for the quarterfinals without playing. This one is clipped into the leg side by Brooke Guest for another single. And there's a slip out there by the fielder, but they stick to 1. Here comes the update. Yeah, Derbyshire 96 for 5, struggling a little bit. They've lost Hilton Cartwright since you were last with us. Wayne Madsen went for 28, as I told you, and Hilton Cartwright made 27. A bit of a mix-up, and he was run out by Deepak Hooda, who just had to throw the ball accurately to the far end of the ground and run the Australian out on his debut. Alex Hughes is there on 4. Brooke Guest has 13. Guest has just lifted the ball into the leg side. We'll pick up a couple more, so he moves on to 15. Derbyshire 98 for 5, and we're in the 14th over. And in fact, they get back for 3, which is a little bit of a surprise to me, I have to say, but welcome nonetheless. So they moved up to 99 for 5 with 9 runs off that over. That's good running.
That was really good running, that was. He didn't quite get hold of it, I don't think, as well as he wanted to there, Guest. But well enough to get the free.
Sadly, now Udan has been back and he says, please share your memories of Mohammed Azharuddin. It was here from 92 to 94, and Mohammed Kaif was here in 2002. Sadly, I didn't start watching Derbyshire until 2016. I know that Mohammed Azharuddin, Azhar on Twitter, was hugely popular with the Derbyshire supporters as Aksa Patel begins a new over from the racecourse end, and that one is pushed by Guest up towards mid-off, and there is the Derbyshire 100 for 5. I've got slightly disturbed, and I've got that. What's that bloke who, what was he called? Mika.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's who they're playing in my ears now. I'll just turn that down, because quite frankly, there's no need for it. Aksa Patel's next delivery. Just turn it to the leg side. That is a really well-placed shot by Alex Hughes, because they're going to come back for 2. And the ball has stopped 5 yards shy at mid-wicket of the 30-yard circle. He barely touched it.
It's a good shot, that is. You know that there's only one fielder inside the ring on the leg side as well, so as long as you get it straight enough, it's going to be 2, isn't it?
Yeah, well, unquestionably.
There's a little chat going on
There
here.
is. Aksa Patel and the wicketkeeper Dinesh Karthik are having a chat. I've just been followed on Twitter by somebody who claims to be Shoaib Akhtar. It isn't him, because he's got 8 followers. It's a Shoaib Akhtar, clearly. They're all Pindi Express. Patel bowls. That's pulled into the leg side. It straight to the fielder, though. It takes an awkward bounce, but it's fielded by Sanju Samson. And Alex Hughes picks up another single, moves on to 7, and Derbyshire to 103 for 5. Could be a big night for extra follows on Twitter, this.
Could be.
If they can work out who I am. I'm not telling anybody. That one's just pushed into the leg side by Brooke Guest.
It's all right, no one knows who I am.
Well, you're Lauren Tuffrey. You're the Derbyshire women's captain.
Nobody knows who I am on social
media.
They
will do soon. They will do soon. Lauren and Dave Fletcher with you on BBC Radio Derby and on the club stream. That one is guided by Hughes out into the offside. And Hughes is going to come back for the second. And again, that's really good running by Alex Hughes. He's not going to go for any more. Partly because he's overshot the crease at the far end, but I think also because when the ball was thrown in, it came off his bat, and we all know what that means. You shouldn't really take a run. Well, it runs away to the boundary.
Exactly, you've got to get enough on it for it to go for 4.
You've really got to whack it. You've really got to whack it. Hughes moves on to 9, 106 for 5. I haven't heard that song by Mika for a long, long time.
Which one was it?
That I Could Be This, I Could Be That, that one.
Well, that's a great song.
This one's a little aerially into the leg side. There isn't anybody close in now, so he'll trot through for another single. Alex Hughes will pinch the strike because it's the end of the over. He'll move on to 10, and it's 107 for 5 now, Derbyshire. The rate runs off that over, and they're still going along at that sort of just over 7 and over kind of vibe, which will get them to 140, but probably won't be enough to beat the Indian tourists, who will walk away with that marvellous trophy. They won't walk away with it because it never leaves the ground, but the Royal Dalton Cup.
I've not seen that one.
Well, it was first played for against the Indian tourists some years ago, but it was last played for, to my knowledge, when Australia came for that for the tour match, when Steve Smith made his comeback after concussion.
We watched that walking around with a cup of tea we did
in
the office.
That was a really good game, I mean, Australia were too good for Derbyshire, but the scoreboard says Umran Malik, but he's not gone anywhere near far enough back, surely. Could be Bishnoi again. It is. He's in, and there's a reverse sweep coming out from Alex Hughes there, and he's managed to get it straight to the fielder. That short third man on the edge of the circle.
Oh no, it's happening, Fletch.
What is? Have they started?
It started.
Yeah, I knew they would. All those followers out there, it is Ravi Bishnoi, incidentally. From the city end. Yeah, you'll have doubled your number of followers soon. 108 for 5, I beg your pardon. That one is pulled into the leg side by Brooke Guest for another single. It's a sort of time in the T20 when you expect to see some big hits and all that kind of thing, but because they've lost 5 wickets, these two are just going to have to take it steady. Matty McKiernan, Ben Aitchison, Mark Watt and George Scrimshaw still to come.
Well, Guest is going along nicely as well. He's going to run a ball at the moment. So, and Hughes is just above that.
That's all they really need to do. Oh, now, wow, what kind of shot's that from Alex Hughes? He shaped up for the reverse sweep and ended up dabbing it down to what would have been backward square leg, but ended up being backward point.
That's a very interesting shot.
Isn't it? He moves on to 12, 110 for 5.
If he'd have left it and not moved, he would have been wide.
Yes, so a waste of time, really. He's got a few new shots, as Alex Hughes has been working on for white ball cricket. That one is striking the pad of Brooke Guest. Alex Hughes, who was halfway down, had to turn and run back into his crease. He hit one. Where was that? I'm sure you were there with me when he did the reverse
into
for 6. That was here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was over into the marquee, wasn't it? That was a great shot.
That was a terrific shot. He's at the non-striker's end now. Brooke Guest waits and pulls this into the leg side, straight out to the man. A backward square leg on this occasion. 110 for 5. 111 for 5. I beg your pardon. Adan says, missing Sweet Caroline at the ground. Well, you're the only one who is.
I'm sure it'll come out
it'll be out at some point. It'll be out at some point. It's Bishnoi. Final ball of his spell. Bowls, and that one is lifted around the corner and down towards a long leg for 4 runs by Alex Hughes. Nice shot by him. He moves on to 16, 115 for 5. There it is. There you go. Sweet Caroline.
You've just got to wait, haven't you?
You're never far away, never far away from Sweet Caroline at an English ground in T20 cricket, and I have to say, I can't stand it. I love it. It's a great song. It's a terrific song.
It's just played a lot, isn't it?
I'm just fed up with it now. Absolutely fed up with it now, if I'm honest. Not that anybody cares whether I'm fed up or not. Ravi Bishnoi, 4 overs for 34 runs. Didn't pick up a wicket, but bowled quite nicely. Lancashire need 50 runs from 21 balls to beat Worcestershire at New Road. That could be interesting because Lancashire are 129 for 8.
Wow.
Worcestershire, well, they couldn't beat an egg, in all honesty, but they look like they're going to beat the table toppers Lancashire. Durham made 183 for 8 in their 20 overs up at across at Trent Bridge. Nottinghamshire 26 without loss from 10 deliveries. New over from Malik begins, and it's crashed into the offside by Brooke Guest. It was half stopped by the man at extra cover. He probably wishes he hadn't. He's looking at his hand now, and they get back for 2. That would have hurt because he hit that very well, Brooke Guest.
So it's a good hand. That I think that would be pushing for a boundary there if he's not got his fingers onto it. But get the ice out later on, I reckon.
Guest moves to 22. It was Deepak Hooda who's still shaking out that left hand. 117 for 5. Oh, Umran Malik started his run and then stopped it. I'm just thinking, I don't think it's his first over from the racecourse end. Umran Malik. He's on his way in and bowls a short delivery wide of the off stump. There's a swing and a miss from Guest as it goes through to the keeper. He might have been better just trying to get that out to sort of backward point region, mightn't he?
Yeah, I think he's sometimes just trying to do a little bit too much with it. Had a message on Twitter.
Have you? Go on.
From Chandra Prakash.
Yeah.
He said, "Don't worry, Lauren. I got you back. I know who you are now."
Yeah, see? There we go.
Thank you very much.
All those people listening and watching. 117 for 5. You're all very, very welcome. This next delivery from Malik is it's an attempted pull by Brooke Guest. He gets a bottom edge on it down to wide, fine leg, or a long leg, really. And he moves on to 23. From 24 deliveries, 118 for 5. This partnership already worth 30 off 24. Cartwright, the last man out for 27. That run out, slightly messy. Unfortunately, where there was a bit of yes, no with Brooke Guest, and unfortunately, Cartwright had to fall on his sword.
Sacrifice himself, didn't he? Really?
He did really. Couldn't get back in time. Got the dive out. Malik, 3 balls of his spell left. That one's going to run away for 4 runs. Very fine, probably off a glove, certainly high up on the bat of Alex Hughes, who picks up another boundary. Derbyshire moved to 122 for 5 and Hughes up to 20 off 13 balls. It's slowly turning into a very good innings, this, by Alex Hughes. As that run rate just creeps towards 8. 160 would be really nice, and anything more than that would be exceptional. I think there might be a bit of rain in the air at the moment. I'm not sure.
Well, it's absolutely chucked it down earlier.
Didn't
and we
it?
looked outside and we were like, is this game going to be on?
Yeah, absolutely no chance at sort of 3:30, 4 o'clock. Full toss this time that's pushed out into the offside by Alex Hughes. Didn't really make the most of it because he only picks up a single. He moves to 21 of 14, 123 for 5 with 1 ball of Umran Malik's spell to go. 1 for 31 at the moment. Aksa Patel, 3 overs, 1 for 18. That's terrific T20 bowling.
Got another question for you here.
Have you?
I'll tell you after this ball.
Next delivery from... Oh, he's bowled him. That's the middle stump out of the ground, and Brooke Guest has gone. And Malik finishes with 2 for 31. That was a terrific delivery. Very, very sharp, I have to say. Certainly looked sharp from here. 123 for 6, 8 off that over. And Malik finishes with 4 overs, 2 for 31. Brooke Guest has gone for 23 off 26 deliveries in the end. Bowled by Umran Malik.
Yeah, I think any ball that dislodges a stump is a quick ball, isn't it?
That looked very sharp.
It just looked very sharp. I think Guest went to play the right shot there, but it was just too quick for him, and he couldn't actually get hold of it how he wanted to. But it's a nice little knock there as well.
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. Umra Malik.
Nice and steady.
2 for 31. Clearly, it's not Bishnoi bowling next, as it's been highlighted on the scoreboard, because, quite frankly, he's already bowled 4 overs. And he's not allowed to bowl anymore. It's going to be Arshdeep Singh.
Right, question for
Yeah,
you
question.
here.
Yeah. I'm ready for anything.
Out of all the current spinners in the world, who are your top 3?
Oh, blimey.
And why?
What?
Such a question that is.
Good heavens above. See, I watch an awful lot of county cricket, and therefore I'm taken away from the international scene. I think Axar Patel's got to be up there. It depends whether you're talking white or red ball cricket as well. Leach has just got a couple of fifers. Here's Singh around the wicket left arm, and it's guided, a short delivery down towards long leg by Alex Hughes for a single. Matty McKiernan, incidentally, the new batsman. Yeah, that's a really good question. Really good question that I'm avoiding answering.
I think Rashid Khan's got to be up there.
Yes, no
he
question.
He just looks really good, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I quite like from the women's game? I think he's a really good spinner.
Sophie Eccleston. #1 women's women's bowler in the world. There we go. Didn't specify men or women, and we've given you 3 names. There you go. Try and keep it simpler than that, though, for goodness sake. If you want me to answer any questions, it's a Friday night. We're at, I don't know what time we're at. We're at 17 minutes past 8. As this next delivery is right on the leg stump from Singh, and turned backward of square by Matty McKinnon for his first run, and he's going to come back for a second after a misfield. And that's a sloppy piece of fielding by Surya Kumar Yadav out there at backward square leg. The other thing I wanted to say was, I should have said it at the top, if I mispronounce any of the India players' names, I apologise.
Yes, I'm going to apologise as well.
Yeah, because some of them I'm not completely au fait with. I think it's fair to say. I don't watch a lot of IPL. I won't tell you that I prefer the PSL, of course, because that'll be very counterproductive as far as the number of followers are concerned. Singh, I don't. Bowls around, I do actually. Bowls around the wicket, and that's guided down to third man. It's going to go all the way to the boundary. It is, you know. I thought the fielder might get around there. It's Avesh Khan, but he just couldn't quite make it. He was a little bit finer than I imagined he was. And Matty McKiernan gets his first boundary, moves to 6. That was a nice shot from the leg spinner. It's got to be in the conversation for my favourite spinners. Actually, my favourite spinner for Derbyshire, and there are plenty to choose from actually, is Mark Watt.
Mark Watt, he's
I do like Mark Watt. I think he's a terrific cricketer.
I do think McKinnon's really come on now from where we first sort of saw him to now.
He's a little more upright in his delivery, which is, I think, is always a good thing. Singh halfway through his third over, bowls. That's on the pads of Matty McKinnon, who whips it away down towards long leg for another single. So we move on to 731 for 6. That over run rate is just creeping up towards 7.5.
I thought somebody had fallen over then. I just looked up and I was like, oh, he's on the floor.
Avesh Khan is just stretching, and he was absolutely flat out on his front.
There we go. Did you see any of the test match today?
No. Why am I being asked a question about that?
Pants innings today.
Apparently it was excellent, wasn't it?
Batted very well.
Got a century, yeah. They were in a bit of trouble as well, weren't they, at the time?
They were.
I saw 1 or 2 wickets this morning. I did see a little bit this morning. Singh around the wicket. That's a full toss, and it's lifted into the leg side. It's going to bounce a considerable distance away from the fielder out there, and Alex Hughes will come back for 2. He'll move on to 24 from 16 deliveries, 133 for 6.
Yeah, it's a long way out to the boundary over by the pavilion and the performance centre, isn't it? It's a long way to
it is. It is. The ropes are a good 15, 20 yards in, and it's still a massive boundary out there. Final ball of the Arshdeep Singh over, his third. 1 for 21 his figures at the moment. He's on his way in now. He almost jumps out from behind the umpire, and he's bowled Alex Hughes, who tried to sweep this one away, but it was bowled round his legs effectively, and Alex Hughes is the latest batsman to have the timbers removed as Arshdeep Singh picks up his second wicket of the innings. He's now got 2 for 21 and Derbyshire 133 for 7.
Yeah, Hughes was just trying to sort of get that work into the leg side a little bit more, and he's just exposed his stumps and bowled him round his legs.
Yeah, been a little bit disappointed, I'm sure, but 17 deliveries for his 24. Good little knock from Alex Hughes, and the first wicket for a while, actually.
Who's this? I'm trying to work out from the walk.
It's Mark Watt.
There we go.
Yeah, big Watty.
On the back of some good runs down at Sussex.
Yes, a first-class half-century. First-class half-century for Mark Watt. That was the final ball of the Singh over. 10 off it, but a wicket as well. 133 for 7 now. Derbyshire in the second double-figure innings. Joe, I'm going to say Sakic, and I apologise if I haven't pronounced your... could be Shakic, but I think it might be Sakic. Simon Harmer's got to be worth a shout in the spinning department. Been a phenomenal county championship spinner for a very long time. Took 15 wickets in the last game for Essex. You're absolutely right. I saw Simon Harmer last season, I think it was. Yes, last season. Take 9 wickets in an innings against Derbyshire and didn't turn one. Goodness knows what the batsmen were doing. They were absolutely horrific. Here is Khan bowling his second over. That's been lifted. That might go all the way for 6. It has gone all the way for 6 from Matty McKiernan out towards deep backward square leg into the East Midlands demolition stand. It was banged in short by Avesh Khan. And, well, it was a decent hit. He basically just helped it on his way. Almost.
It's a nice shot that was.
Almost a shot like a hammer thrower.
Yeah, just sort of guiding it round the corner. I think sometimes that's all you've got to do is when the pace bowlers are on is use that pace and don't try and overhit it. And he's not tried to. I think if he tried to hit that, I think it might have gone in to the travel lodge.
Yes.
You might know the answer to this one.
Oh no, more questions.
County cricket grounds.
Yeah.
Are they smaller in size than regular or same as international matches?
Ooh, that one's gone over the top of middle stump from Khan.
They ask because they're not sure if it's just the camera angle or not on the stream.
Well, I think, this is going to sound very, very obvious, but every single county ground is a different dimension. Width-wise or square of the pitch, I would say that Derby, Leicester, Durham, Old Trafford are probably the biggest. Trent Bridge is tiny. Khan in again and bowls on the stumps, and that's well kept out by Matty McKinnon. He picks up a single as well out towards the mid-wicket region. He moves on to 14 from 6 deliveries. Derbyshire to 140 for 7. A lot of grounds are quite small straight. This isn't massive straight, I have to say. So if you can hit the ball straight, you've got an advantage. But they're not. Trent Bridge is clearly an international ground, but it's tiny, which is why so many scoring records have been set there. England have scored in excess of 400 twice in 50 over matches there. And a couple of weeks ago, Birmingham Bears scored the highest score in a T20 match in this country at Trent Bridge. So it is quite small. 140 for 7. Mark Watt, first delivery. What on earth is he doing there? He's leaping into the offside and trying to play the ball to leg. If he didn't make contact with his bat, he probably would have played it on.
Yeah, I think where he was stood, the only place that ball would go if he hit it was the stumps.
Yeah. Just needs
Not
to play,
quite sure what he was trying to do.
Needs to play a proper cricket shot. Anuj Dal was interesting because he was batting with Watt when he got to his half-century. And he said when he got into the 40s, Watt was really nervous. I thought that was nice. He's done it again, and now he's clipped this into the leg side. He's leapt so far into the offside. He's going to come back for a second as well, and he's going to get there comfortably enough. Mark Watt picks up a couple, moves to a run of ball 2, and it's 142 for 7, and that's 2 very strange shots. We don't play Vardy's on fire at the ground.
I've been asked if I'm a Liverpool fan.
Really? Are you?
I'm not a Liverpool fan. No,
good.
Couldn't be further away from a Liverpool
You're an Everton fan?
No.
Oh no, you're not, are you? But that's wide of the off stump. A good delivery and not a wide. Mark Watt's looking there now. It wasn't a wide at all. Peter Hartley's absolutely right. 142 4, 7, 9 runs off the over. So what does Derbyshire need? They need, well, they're not going to get 18 runs to get up to 160, are they? I think to get 8 off the final over, 150, they'd probably be pleased.
They've been going at a steady rate, though, haven't they?
It's been 7s pretty much all the way through, absolutely. You know, some overs have gone for 8 and 9, some have gone for 6 and 7 and 5, but there hasn't been a huge over, which there often is in the T20 blast, and that's where teams can sort of fall over a little bit in a bit of a heap. Arshdeep Singh is going to bowl his 4th over. So far, 2 for 21 from 3. Axar Patel's not going to bowl his 4 overs, which I think is a real shame. I'd like to have seen 4 overs from Axar Patel. He bowled 3 overs, 1 for 18.
His run-up really confuses me, Singh.
He's coming from right behind the umpire, isn't he, in bowls, and McKiernan pushes it out into the offside for a single, moves on to 15 from 7, 143 for 7.
Yeah, he's running up as if he's going to come and sort of over the wicket, but then just darts across in the last minute.
He's one of those bowlers, and you wouldn't be surprised to see it happen at some point in the future. But, you know, the spinners who go in between the umpire and the stumps, he could come in from all the way over to our left as we're looking and running in between the umpire and the stumps.
Yeah.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be good.
I'd like to see that. 143 for 7 with 5 balls of the over to go.
Who is the bowler to look out for in the second innings here?
Oh, now I can probably answer that question. I'd look out for George Scrimshaw, who is very, very, very quick. Can be erratic. Went for 48 off 3 overs against Lancashire last Friday and then defended 11 by only conceding 5. In comes this next delivery from Singh. It's a play and a miss from Mark Watt. 143 for 7. It remains. I'm not saying look out for him, but I'm looking forward to seeing Ben Aitchison back in action in a first team game, because he hasn't played all season.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see him back bowling again.
Yeah. Hilton Cartwright doesn't bowl much. Mark Watt will bowl a few. He'll probably bowl 4. And Alex Hughes, who everybody, I imagine, who's here to watch India play will absolutely hate, because he bowls so slowly. Singh in, and that one is pushed out into the offside by Mark Watt, who'd be pleased to get bat on ball. He moves on to 3, 144 for 7 with 3 balls to go. If they can get this done and dusted, I can do my update. We'll have 10 minutes off. How about that? We won't go anywhere. We promise we'll come back. Unless you don't want us to come back, in which case, unlucky, we're coming back.
We'll be back anyway.
Yeah, we're going to be back whether you want us or not. Just a few empty seats in the permanent temporary stand, but there's an awful lot of people in front of it, all desperate for autographs. It's going to be chaos in front of the pavilion later on when we do the interviews. 144 for 7. Singh around the wicket, bowls, and that's turned into the leg side to square leg by Matty McKiernan just for a single. He moves on to 16, 145 for 7. Lancashire have lost to Worcestershire, for goodness sake, by 29 runs at New Road. I never thought I'd be saying that this evening. All out for 149, the league leaders. I think they've already qualified, but not necessarily. But they do play Birmingham in the last round of matches. Northants are 50 for 1 after 6 overs in reply to Leicestershire's 214 for 6. Keep a close eye on that one as the evening progresses. And Birmingham, with 2 deliveries of their 20 overs to go, are 232 for 5 against Yorkshire at Headingley. Good luck to the Vikings. Singh bowls. That's a no ball. No ball for height. And it's been changed into a wide. So perhaps in international cricket it's a wide, not a no ball. But either way, I think it is a wide, personally.
Yeah, the rules are a bit different, aren't they?
Yes.
We had a few confusions in our season this year.
Nobody's told me, so I don't know that they have changed. Yeah, this is good timing from Martin. It's 3 minutes till the next update. There are 2 deliveries of the innings to go, so that is excellent. Couldn't have been timed any better. 146 for 7. Singh with 2 balls to go. How's Mark Watt doing? He's danced all the way into the offside and he's been run out at the far end. He's got Matty McKiernan back on strike. He's been run out by a long, long way. A long, long way.
Just thinking, could you imagine if he'd have missed that then?
Well, yes, that would have been...
he launched that at the stumps.
3.5-6 for Mark. Well, what was he doing? 146 for 8 now. Now the new batsman is going to be Ben Aitchison. Welcome back to the first team, Ben. Good to see him out there. Update not too far away now. A little punch of gloves. Aitchison's, I think it's Aitchison. It is Aitchison. Oh, I might have to do this. That was a good song. I like that. I don't know who they are. We'll be doing an update fairly shortly after this, or during this final delivery. It could be after this final delivery. Come on. Come on, Arshdeep Singh. Get it sorted. 2 for 25. I think he's only got 1 ball to go, but it says 2 now. Slightly disturbing.
It's a wide, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's off an edge, and it's going to go down to third man. It might be 4. It is 4. They're 4 very useful runs as Derbyshire move on to 150, and it was the final ball of the innings. So India, in 10 minutes' time, will require 151 to beat Derbyshire. They probably will. I've got an update to do. If you need to nip off anywhere or go and get a sandwich,
I was gonna say I might pick some food up.
Yeah, go and get a sandwich. Lauren will be back with us as well in the second half. I'll do this update for Martin. 150 for 8. Patel 1 for 18 off 3 overs. Singh 2 for 29 off 4. 0 for 16. Khan off 2. Bishnoi 4 overs for 34. Malik 4 overs 2 for 31. And Iyer 1 for 18 off 3. The main contributors, Matty McKinnon at the end there, was 16 not out off 8 deliveries. Was that? No, Ben Aitchison. Did Ben Aitchison? Yeah, Ben Aitchison. Well, he shouldn't have been facing. I don't think he was, in all honesty. I'll sort that out in a minute. Well, Martin, Derbyshire have just completed their 20 overs and they've scored 150. 150 for 8 in the end. The Indian team is a very good team. You won't be surprised to hear the likes of Axar Patel, Arshdeep Singh, Avesh Khan, Ravi Bishnoi, all very, very fine cricketers. Well, welcome back to the Incora County Ground in Derby, where India will be chasing 151. I say chasing, they'll probably do it with some ease, you would expect, to beat Derbyshire in the first of the two warm-up games ahead of Thursday's T20 International. And I can confirm that Matty McKiernan ended on 20, because he did hit that last ball for 4. He had to have done. Even though 4 runs have been given to Ben Aitchison, and I'm sure he'd have welcomed them. He hasn't actually faced a ball in T20 cricket because, well, he only came out for 1, and he came out at the non-strikers end, the end at which Mark Watt was run out. So it was all slightly confusing at the end, but 150 4-8 was their final score. 28 to Madsen, 27 to Cartwright, 24 to Hughes, 23 to Guest, and 20 to McKiernan. They were the major contributors. In fact, they were the only players who scored double figures.
Looks like Aitchison might be opening the ball in.
Oh, excellent news.
Just thought you'd like that little bit of information there.
All information is gratefully received. Lauren Tuffrey alongside me, Dave Fletcher, BBC Radio Derby, online via the BBC Sport website, and now we're on the Derbyshire County stream as well. We've got the Duckworth Lewis Parr score on the scoreboard, but I'm not entirely sure. Well, it certainly won't rain now. There's plenty of blue sky up above, which is good news. The lights are, well, the lights that we have.
It's just nice to know what they could be on. Should be on.
Should be on, yeah. And in those other games, say those other games, in the games, in the T20 Blast, we said that, we shouldn't have said it, Birmingham made 238 for 5, Yorkshire 30 without loss after 14 deliveries, then in 209 from 106 balls. You wouldn't put it past them. And Northampton 106 for 1 in the 12th over, chasing 215 at Grace Road. Northampton need 109 from 50 deliveries. So perhaps not the foregone conclusions we thought those two might be. Durham made 183 for 8 at Trent Bridge, and Notts at the halfway stage in their reply are 108 for 1. So they need 76 from 60, so they will almost certainly beat Durham, you would have thought. We've got to go back up the A1 tonight to wherever they live in Durham. And then come back down here to play Derbyshire on Sunday.
Here we go.
Here we go. Ben Aitchison bowls the first delivery, and it's turned into the leg side by Aksa Patel, who's gone out there to open the batting. And India are up and running, although you would never know from the scoreboard. It's definitely Aksa Patel, because I've just seen the number on his back, and he's out there with Ruturaj Gaikwad. Just in case the scorer's listening next door, he can fill those little bits in, because at the moment it's all pretty blank. Unbelievable.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we are. 1 without loss. Aitchison in from the city, bowls, and that's defended out into the offside by Gaikwad. Dot ball. He's bowled 2 deliveries and looks okay, which is good news.
Yeah, as we say, it's just nice to see him back playing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
He did really well for Derbyshire last season.
I think he's got terrific potential. He's just suffered a couple of really unfortunate injuries since he arrived. Bowls to Gaikwad on the leg stump, turned into the leg side, fielded by Lewis Rees, who comes around from mid-off. 2 without loss. He stood on a ball. No, he didn't. He slipped when he was bowling at lunchtime at Durham the season before last on a damp pitch where they'd been told not to practice. And then, of course, did his back in pre-season this season. He bowls now, that's turned into the leg side. Backward of square, around comes big George Scrimshaw to do the fielding. And a comfortable single is taken. It's 3 without loss. I can guarantee that, even though it doesn't show it on the scoreboard. Couldn't guarantee how many deliveries we've had. I think it's 4.
Here we go. Someone saying Samson is wearing Patel's shirt.
Yeah, it's been changed. You're right. Samson has now come up. Thank you very much. Thank you. That doesn't help us very much, does it? So it is dear, oh dear, 2 runs off that delivery. 5 without loss. Absolute chaos. Sanju Samson, number 9 on the team sheet, wearing Aksa Patel's shirt. I hope Aksa Patel comes out in Sanju Samson's
that would
shirt.
really top it off.
That would be great. Aitchison to complete his first over. That's lifted in the air. Is it going to be a catch out in the deep? It is a catch out in the deep. And Ben Aitchison gets his first wicket in T20 cricket. Nice catch out there as well. That's Hilton Cartwright with his first catch for Derbyshire, who have a wicket. And Ruturaj Gaikwad goes for 3. And at the end of the first over, India, well, a 5 for 1.
Yeah, it was a good catch from Cartwright out on the boundary there. He sort of took it nicely, and he had to look round to see where the boundary was, because I don't think he was quite sure how far in he was. But it was a nice silly catch. Aitchison was very happy with that.
Wasn't he?
He did a little signal over to the dugout as well, which was nice. As if to say, look guys, I'm back.
Well, the thing about Ben Aitchison is 3 from 4 deliveries, incidentally, and 5 off the over, 5 for 1 at the end of 1. The thing about Aitchison is that he hasn't really had a chance to show out there in the middle. He hasn't had a chance, never mind really, he hasn't had a chance to show Mickey Arthur what he can do, and he will be desperate to do exactly that.
Yeah, it's a good way to start as well, isn't it? You want to go out and make a point, and he's had a nice first over there.
Yeah, decent enough, and well, Gaikwad tried to lift him over the high performance centre, or elite performance centre, and couldn't quite manage to do so. Mark Watt is going to bowl the first over from the racecourse end.
There we go, he's getting the umpire in the right place there.
Back as far as he can.
Make sure you get further back.
Yeah, because he's going to bowl off. Watch out for this on the subcontinent, you'll enjoy this. If you didn't see him in the World Cup playing for Scotland, he does bowl off 24 yards occasionally, the left armour. He's in to bowl to the new batsman, who is Deepak Hooda in all probability, and he's off the mark straight away, unless he's wearing, well, unless it's somebody else wearing Deepak Hooda's shirt. 6 for 1. Come on, give the commentators a chance, India, for goodness sake. Bring Sanju Samson back on to strike. Umpire Hartley just keeps Mark Watt waiting, as does Sanju Samson. He's on a runner ball 2. And he's just moving the man out at mid-wicket a little squarer. It looks like Leas Deploy out there. Often is. Watt on his way in, bowls, and that does turn, and it's played straight to the man at short third man, who is Matty McKiernan.
A nice sort of drift in and then turning away again. It was a nice ball, that was. It's a good view from here.
Isn't it? It's not a huge turner of the ball, Mark Watt, but he turned that one, and that one drifted, and it's gone straight to Matty McKiernan again, off the bat of Sanju Samson. Good start to the over. 3 deliveries gone. Yeah.
It's getting louder. Samson is taking a minute there.
Samson waits. Watt bowls a flatter delivery to him, and it's pushed out into the offside. Dot ball. Hello, hello. What's going on here?
Oh, we know what dot balls bring.
Well, 3 in a row. We know what 3 in a row bring generally. We've had 3 in a row. Wicket this delivery, everybody. Stand by.
You heard it here first.
What? Bowls. And that one is whoa, 4 in a row. This is uncharted territory, really. That one went straight up to Lewis Rees, who's got the bandage on the right elbow. 6 for 1. Watt, once again, around the wicket, fires this down the leg side. That's a dot ball. No, it isn't. It's a wide. That's what I meant. It's never a dot ball in a million years.
If that one had turned like those ones outside of off stump, that would have been interesting.
Bang in front.
Might have even gone round his legs.
Ball of the century. Watt bowls, that's turned into the leg side for a single. Mark Watt's racing to the edge of the 30-yard circle. They want to come back for a second. They're not going to. Terrific first over from Mark Watt. 3 runs from it. 8 for 1 after 2.
Yeah, very good over from Watt there. All normal deliveries as well.
Yeah,
no 24-yarders.
No, he bowled a couple of 24-yarders in the second innings down at Sussex. I enjoyed that. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Northants 129 for 2 after 13. They need 86 from 42 deliveries to beat Leicestershire at Grace Road. Yorkshire 54 without loss after 4 overs. Need 184 now off 96 balls to beat Birmingham at Headingley. 55 without loss after 4 overs, and they still need 184. Absolute madness. Ben Aitchison to bowl his second over from the City end on his way in, and that one's turned into the leg side by Sampson for a single. I think that's Cartwright out there still in the deep. It was him who took the catch, wasn't it?
Yes.
I didn't just make that up. Well, I did make it up at the time because I've never seen him before. It was him. Excellent. Sort of makes sense Certainly makes the commentary make sense as well. Aitchison's bowled 6 deliveries, 1 for 6, 7 deliveries, 1 for 6. Good effort. He's in again, and this one's lifted into the leg side, and this time it drops short of Hilton Cartwright. Bounces twice before it reaches him, actually, but it was in the air for a long, long time.
Yeah, it went quite a long way up. Thought maybe he was in the game there again, Cartwright, but played it with softer hands.
Your tweet's getting some love out there.
I know, I was going to say.
You're going to go viral. 10 for 1. It's crazy. Next one from Aitchison's down the leg side and just clipped away fine for 4 runs, much to the delight of the India fans inside the Incora County Ground. Sampson moves on to 8, and it's 14 for 1 in the third.
Yeah, just sort of strayed a bit down leg side there, and just an easy sort of flick as well. When you've not got fine leg back, it's free boundary down there, isn't it?
It is. The one thing that was missing from my commentary of the wicket was they're both on Derbyshire debut. Both Cartwright and Aitchison in T20 cricket. Here's Aitchison again. Balls, that was guided down to third man. There'll be a third man. There is Mark Watt. And they go through for another single. Sampson moves on to 9 from 10 deliveries, 15 for 1.
So has Aitchison never played a T20 game then?
No.
I didn't know that.
Not a first team one, no. He was injured by the time the blast started last year. He's in now, bowls. That one is defended. I think it was last year. He fields off his own bowling. He'll be shattered tonight. He'll sleep well, will Big Ben. Bowled 11 deliveries, 1 for 12. That's perfectly acceptable in any form of white ball cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a load of good as well. A bit of confidence.
And he knows he's only going to bowl 4 overs maximum.
Yeah.
So a really good time for him to have a run out. Bowls to Hooder, who pushes it out into the leg side. That's Anuj. Is that Anuj Dal?
Like I say, it looks like Anuj Dal.
It is Anuj Dal. What's he doing out there? It's Anuj Dal. He's fielding. It is Anuj Dal.
Who's not out there? Yeah. This is where we've got to try and work it out now.
Well, you know who I'm going to get to work it out. 15 for 1 at the end of the over. 7 off that one from Ben H. It's another good over. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 12. And Mark Watt is going to bowl his second over from the racecourse end. Alex Hughes is out there, Cartwright's out there, Deploy's out there. Where's Wayne Madsen? It's Wayne Madsen.
It is Wayne. It
is Wayne Madsen. Well, I'll make a note of that on my hand. He got something in his eye and wasn't massively happy when he was batting. I hope he's okay. I would ordinarily, the single taken off the first ball of the Watt over, incidentally, 16. No, was it a dot ball?
Yeah, it was a dot ball.
I beg your pardon. It was a dot ball, 15 for 1. Concentrate. Watt is in. Good job. That one definitely drifted and turned away, and there was a play and a miss from Sanju Samson.
Yeah, he's getting quite a bit of drift today. I don't know if he always gets this type of drift. Or if it's just because we're right behind his arm
we can see
that
it.
we can tell.
He does drift it. He does move it in the air. Wayne Madsen mentioned that a couple of weeks ago when he was on the breakfast show with Andy Twigg. That one's cut straight to Alex Hughes at point. I was going to say there's no point in me sending a message to any member of the Derbyshire media team. They're all very, very busy tonight, as you'd expect. So we'll have to ask us to get some news on Madsen after the game. Hope he's okay. Watt's in again. Bowls. This one is sliced over the head of Matty McKiernan at short third man and away for 4 runs. A slightly fortunate boundary for Sanju Samson, who moves into double figures. He's on 13 from 14, and Indy moved to 19 for 1.
It looked like he got away with that one there a bit, Samson. He sort of miscued it, but it just sort of stayed in the air and just kept going slowly over McKiernan's head. You take a boundary out if you can get it.
Oh, absolutely, no question.
Doesn't say in the scorebook.
No, but they are behind on Duckworth Lewis. As Watt bowls, that's a quicker, flatter delivery and turned into the leg side by Samson, out towards the square leg boundary. Fielded down there by Hilton Cartwright.
He has got a bit of a rocket arm, hasn't he?
Hasn't he, yeah. And he's just raced to go and sign some more autographs. I wonder where he was going then, to be honest. He's signed a couple more.
I think he had a selfie there, actually. That
Did
looked too quick for an autograph.
It goes Watt and bowls. There's a play and a swing and a miss, and they're asking for the stumping, but nothing doing from the square leg umpire Paul Pollard. Smart piece of work by Mark Watt to finish the over. 5 off that one, so he's only gone for 8 runs in his 2 overs. 20 for 1 after 4. They should be at 28 to be up with Duckworth Lewis Stern, India. I'm not going to start, oh, here's Big George. I'm not going to get excited about a potential Derbyshire win at this stage, but I think they're doing all right.
I think that's what all they've got to do is try and sort of challenge India. This is sort of India's to lose, really, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, no one's expecting Derbyshire to go out and really do anything with it. So I think if they can just challenge them and make them work for their runs, then that's all anyone can ask.
No question. So Big George Scrimshaw, the hero last week, 7 nights ago, it seems like yesterday. He defended 11 off the final over to secure Derbyshire a victory over Lancashire. On his way into bowl to Sanju Samson, bowls, and that's just turned into the leg side. He picks up a single. India move on to 21 for 1 in the 5th over. There's an update coming up for Martin Williams. Very soon that's happening. Thursday, the first one of those, Martin. Put it down in your diary. Yes, Derbyshire made 150 for 8, so therefore India are chasing 151 to win this one. They've already lost a wicket. It was a decent first over from Ben Aitchison, who's on his T20 debut. The ball was caught by Hilton Cartwright, who's on his Derbyshire debut, as Ruturaj Gaikwad was dismissed for 3. Sanju Samson, who is rather unhelpfully wearing Aksa Patel's sweater, is on 15 from 16 deliveries. Deepak Hooda is on 3 from 6. And India are 22 for 1, and we're in the 5th over. Swapping jumpers just to fool the commentators, Martin. It's not on. It's not on. That one was off very much a leading edge of Samson's bat. He's having a bit of good fortune here because there were 2 men backward of square on the offside. It evaded them both. And he moves on to 17 from 17, 24 for 1. Good start to the over, though, by George Scrimshaw.
The new Derbyshire hero,
Scrimshaw. My favourite. They're all my favourites. He's got the best tash in county cricket. Now it's magnificent. 4 off the first 3 deliveries of his first over. Scrimshaw in from the city end and bowls. That's quick, and that's going all the way for 6. Out to the backward point boundary. That is a very, very impressive shot from Samson, who now moves up to 23 from 18 deliveries. That's the one problem with the pace that George Scrimshaw has, that if you make contact with it, it can fly.
Yeah, and he's sort of shown it there. He's not hit it that hard, Samson, has he? He's just sort of guided it where he wanted to, and then it's just gone just over the rope for 6.
Marcus, you're very welcome. I can't read that out, though. In comes Scrimshaw again, and that rather cramps Samson up. He manages to get some bat onto it and then onto his pad and down to 3rd man for a single. Moves to 24, 31 for 1. He's copied you in as well, so
yeah, just
Marcus.
seen that.
I don't read that kind of stuff out.
Thank you, Marcus.
And you're right. Plus Wonder Soul. I have no idea. At Wonder Soul, Samson making our job difficult by swapping jerseys with Aksa. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. 31 for 1. Deepak Hooda on strike. Hasn't seen too many deliveries, and he clips this into the leg side. Cartwright's got a long chase, puts the dive in, stops the ball, and keeps them down to a couple. That's a terrific piece of fielding out there in the deep by Hilton Cartwright. Gets the applause of his new Derbyshire teammates. And unfortunately for George Scrimshaw, that 6 meant there were 12 off the over. After 5, 32 for 1. India at the same stage. Derbyshire were 35 for 2.
Yeah, that was some top fielding from Cartwright there. He's really putting in the miles to get there in the dive as well. Just showing his overseas class there.
And he's also putting in the miles because he's fielding on either side of the pitch.
He's going from long boundary to long boundary.
Unbelievable distance. Mark Watt's going to bowl a 3rd over inside the power play here. This is quite brave. 2 overs for 8 so far in the power play. He's in the bowl to Samson, who goes back. And, well, that's an awful shot. He pushes it up to mid-on. I've no idea how he got it there, really.
What can't really understand there, how that has ended up being what was played there.
No, and I'm not sure I understand either. 33 for 1 it remains. Watt in again. Around the wicket, bowls. That one drifts and is pushed out into the offside. That's a good piece of fielding by Ben Aitchison. Allowed the ball to hit him. He's fielding on...
body on the line.
Yeah, he's fielding on an old pitch there, a used pitch. So it's never easy, but he's a good fielder. And it remains 33 for 1 after 2 dot balls to begin the over. That one's fired down the leg side wide. 34 for 1. Sometimes when he puts that quicker delivery and he does go a little wayward. Mark Watt, who's ready again on his way in, bowls, and this one is clipped into the leg side, out towards the fielder at mid-wicket. Around the boundary comes Leas Deploy. The batsmen get back for 2. Deploy, who I have no confirmation, but I expect, as the score moves on to 36-1, I expect to lead the Derbyshire side in the quarter-finals, should they get there, and who knows on finals day as well. Currently the vice-captain. Sampson on 26. Watt in and bowls a 24-yarder, and it's clubbed over the head of Shan Masood for 4, and he's a little bit unfortunate there. Almost caught the batsman out, but the shot was good enough to get over the head of Shan Masood at mid-off and all the way to the boundary. He moves on to 30 for Sampson, and it's 40 for 1 with 2 balls of the power play to go.
Yeah, I think that's the first one he's bowled, isn't it? What is?
I think so.
24-yarder, and he's not quite gone the way he wanted it to.
Who is my favourite batsman at the moment? I'm being asked on an email now. That one's gone off the outside edge of the bat, looped up over the 30-yard circle. It's racing towards the members' pavilion. It's kept in there by, I think, Matty McKiernan, and thrown in
by Dahl.
By Anuj Dahl, or the other way. Was it the other way around? But either way, yeah, no, it was McKinnon who kept it in, and Dahl, who was on the field for Wayne Madsen, so keeps them down to a couple. Sampson moves to 32 from 24. They need to get him out here, Derbyshire. 42 for 1. Because all of my Indian followers, I say all of my Indian followers, all the people who are watching from the subcontinent, who is my favourite batsman at the moment? Well, he's the man fielding at mid-off. It's Shan Masood. What a player he is, by the way. What bowls. That one is cracked over Shan Masood's head again for 4 more. And bowling Mark Watt for a 3rd successive over from the same end. Hasn't quite worked there for Derbyshire because he's conceded 14 runs off the final over of the power play. And after 6 overs, India are 46 for 1. Derbyshire at the same stage, 44 for 3.
Yeah, it's not quite worked out the way I think Masood would have wanted there, with Watt going for a few too many in that over there. But I think he was bowling well, so I think he kind of had to roll the dice a little bit there and see if it was going to work. But Sampson's going along nicely now. Partnership of 41 as well between Sampson and Huda. So only 5 of them though from Huda.
Yeah, 5 from 7. And Sampson 36 from 25 though. That's a good effort. It's a good effort.
I think is it Scrimshaw going again?
Yeah. And that's enough Hey Jude, by the way.
It was getting a bit.
Yeah, when you're ready, just turn it off. Thank you. Here is Grimshaw bowling to Huda, who uppercuts this one for a 1 bounce 4 down to 3rd man. And again, it's all to do with the pace that George Grimshaw bowls at, really. You can have more players outside the circle, of course, but the pace of George Grimshaw, who went for 13 in his first over, he's now conceded a boundary off the first ball of his second, but we know what he can do.
And I think, well, the way he's bowling with the field he's got set, that shot is safe at the moment. So
2 men back down below us. That's guided this time down to 3rd man. Good stop by Mark Watt. He's a big unit, and he got down nicely and pulled the ball back in with the sliding effort. And straight away, Shan Masood says to Mark Watt and somebody else, swap places, for goodness sake. We don't want Watty doing all that nonsense down there. There's a little bit of confusion. Watt is going to go to the... no. He's going to swap with Deploy, I think. No. What's happening here? They're all running in. So Watt's going to stay at third man and deploy swapped with Matty McKiernan, who's on the edge of the 30-yard circle at backward point. I'm not entirely sure that's what they wanted.
I don't think that's done anything different at all.
No, but they've changed. 52 for 1. Hudder on 11 from 9. That's a short delivery and wide as well, and they're looking for a wide as well. They're signalling wide. In fact, Hudder signalled wide there, but the umpire said, "Oh, get on with it, son."
He wasn't happy there, was he? Descent towards
Vance wants your autograph. How can I get Lauren? Well, he calls you Lauren Tuffet, but that's close enough for me.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Not many people get it right.
How do I get Lauren Tuffet's autograph? Well, you have to come to Derby.
Yep.
That's the best way.
I did sign one. Signed one the other week.
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Excellent. I declined at Leicester. Scrimshaw Bowls, that's worked down a fine leg off a pad by Hudder. They moved to 53 for 1. Good comeback by George Scrimshaw after going for 4 and 2 off his first 2 deliveries. He didn't ask for my autograph though, did he? Or she. It's just now even the Derbyshire fielders. Well, they were confusing me, the Derbyshire fielders, by where they were going.
They were having a mothers' meeting, weren't they?
I think I can answer the question that's been asked of David Griffin by Marcus as this next delivery is, oh, edged, is it? No, he's missed it. How did he miss that? And it moved after it went past the bat.
Quite a bit.
I thought he'd taken the edge of Sampson's bat there, George Grimshaw. He didn't. It's a dot ball. That Marcus says by way of what I can tell you, Marcus, is when you put PS not for public consumption, don't put it on a tweet because that is for public consumption. But by way of an aside, did we discover the last time Derbyshire declared twice in a match and still lost? Well, it had never happened until Hove this week. In comes Scrimshaw and Bowles, and that one's turned into the leg side, but you might want to delete your tweet now. They pick up another single. Sampson moves on to 37. End of the over, he got out of that one quite nicely. 54 for 1 at the end of the over, 8 off it. And 4 of those 8 came off the first delivery, so he got out of the over quite nicely there, George Scrimshaw. 2 overs for 20 now, George.
Yeah, he's doing well though. He's just sort of, it's the odd boundary, but it's the pace that he bowls at. I think that's what you've got to accept, that you are going to go for a boundary every now and again if you're going to fire it in at the pace that he is. But he's proven to be quite useful for Derbyshire. McKiernan's coming on.
Yeah, he's bowled.
A little bit of spin from this end.
Well, he's bowled well this season, hasn't he, Matty McKiernan, with his leg spin. His action might create a bit of a stir on the subcontinent, but believe me, it's nowhere near as extravagant as it used to be.
No, it did used to be quite pronounced,
like he was going to take off. He had both arms out wide, but he's a little more upright than he used to be. Sampson on strike, and he bowls. And that one is cut into the offside. They're going through for a quick single. There won't be a shy at the stumps from Alex Hughes because the batsman got through comfortably for the single. 55 for 1. Sampson up to 38 from 28. Hudder's got a runner ball 11.
Yeah, apparently he's coming off of a 100 against Ireland in the ODIs.
Hudder, yes,
I didn't see it, but
no, I didn't either. But yeah, that one is pushed up the ground by Hudder. In the second T20 International, they played against Ireland. They won them both. India 56 for 1, as you would expect. But Ireland pushed them close. Good effort. After this McKinnon over, I'll have a look at the scores again. 56 for 1. In goes McKinnon and Bowles. That's a nice delivery. It's just pushed out into the offside. And my favourite batsman, Shan Masood, does the fielding. Top ball.
He's just class, isn't he, Masood?
I love him to bits. He's on his... Oh, the batsman pulls away there, Sanju Samson.
Kiernan running through like he's a pace bowler there as well.
His follow-through was longer than his run-up. He's just getting the man down at long on to move a little straighter. That's Lewis Reitz down below us. McKiernan in again, Bowles. That one's pulled into the leg side. This is a chance for a catch for Leas Deploy, who takes it comfortably, and Sanju Samson has gone. And that is a big, big blow for Derbyshire. Samson goes for 38. A comfortable catch for Liz Deploy, who's pulled off some absolute belters in the past few weeks. And India are 56 for 1. And we're in the 8th over.
Yeah, I think it's
two.
good. It's
56 for 2. Sorry,
yes,
carry on.
It's good from McKernan. He's always sort of come in and he's just bowled his line and lengths and forcing batters to do something different. And Samson's tried to sort of pull that one across to the leg side and just picked out the safe hands of deploy out on the boundary.
They are safe hands. He's a terrific fielder, Liz. But what interests me is what will happen if he does take over the captaincy. A 51-run partnership, incidentally, between Sanju Samson and Deepak Hooda, and Hooda's only made 12 of them. That shows you how important that wicket might be for Derbyshire in the long run. What happens when he's captaining the side? Can he still captain the side from the boundary?
Well, this is one thing I always try and make sure when I'm doing the captaincy is that I'm always in the ring, so I can see and I know what's happening and can control things. I think it depends on the team, doesn't it, and sort of how much control you need to have over what people are doing. But he's a very good boundary fielder, and I think Derbyshire would miss having him out on the boundary.
Well, they've got enough players who they need to keep inside the circle, haven't they, really? Surya Kumar Yadav is the new batsman at 56 for 2. McKinnon bowls to him. He pushes that out into the offside. It's fielded by Masood and there's no run. 2 runs off the first 5 deliveries of the first Matty McKinnon over. Terrific effort from McKinnon. The former Lancashire man, of course. Oh, starts his run, or his walk. Stops and goes back. Now he's ready. Now he breaks into a trot. He bowls to Yadav, who cuts that one out to Anuj Dal out in the deep. And India end the over on 57 for 2, just 3 runs off it. That's a terrific over. And in the Derbyshire innings, there were 2 3-run overs as well, but that equals overs bowled by Venkatesh Iyer and Ashdeep Singh. So that's an excellent effort from Matty McKinnon. And I will now have a look at those scores, because Alex Hughes is coming on to bowl.
This is it, the partnership of McKernan and Hughes is back.
We've said I like it. I do like it.
I think it's a good partnership to have, and we've seen it work over a couple of games as well, haven't we? And just puts that bit of pressure on as well. You've got a new batter in.
Yorkshire 117 for 2 at the halfway stage of their run chase. They're chasing 239 to beat Birmingham at Headingley. They need 122 off 60 balls. It's still a long way away. And Northamptonshire have just stumbled. What have they? 179 for 4. They need 36 off 13 deliveries. Here's Hughes in and bowls. That was lifted in the air out towards the members' pavilion for 6. That's huge. That is huge. That's a terrific blow by Hooda. Towards a wide, long on. Look at all those India flags and 6 cards being waved in the permanent temporary stand at the far end of the ground. They're loving it down there. I don't think Alex Hughes enjoyed it very much, though. Northants playing Leicestershire, of course, I should have said. They need 36 from 12. 63 for 2 here. Hughes is in and bowls, and that one is just clubbed down the ground. It actually hit the non-striker Yadav's bat, I think, on the way through, and took a bit of pace off it. They go through for a single. Hooda moves on to 20 from 16 balls, 64 for 2. Excellent. Vansh Sarayan says he's coming to Derby for both of our autographs. Well, we know where we are.
Forgot to turn it back on. Be here on Sunday.
Yeah, you do well to get here by then, but yeah, if you get here by Sunday, we'll be here. And the Notts game, a couple of days in the Notts game later on in the season. That one's turned up towards long on by Yadav for a single. In off the boundary comes, well, look who it is out there, Lears to ploy. Wayne Madsen would normally be out in that kind of region, but he's not on the field at the moment. It's Anuj Dal who's fielding a backward square leg. And it can't be tactical, because Wayne is such a good fielder. You'd take somebody else off, wouldn't you, really? Next delivery from Hughes is pushed into the long on area. Lears deploys very, very quickly off the boundary. That's a terrific bit of work from the South African. Recently signed a new 1-year contract with Derbyshire.
Yeah, that's good news for Derbyshire, that is.
I think so. I think so.
It's a top player deploys.
Here comes Hughes again. Bowling to Yadav. That one is off a leading edge out into the offside, up towards Shan Masood at extra cover, no run. Wonder Soul tells us that Hood has scored 47 not out in the first T20 international, 104 in the second against Ireland. So he's in a bit of nick. he's in a lot of nick. Hughes bowls to Yadav, and that one is lifted upishly into the leg side, up towards wide, long on. They come through for another single. That's the end of the Hughes over. 10 runs from it, 67 for 2 after 9. At the same stage, this is remarkable, Derbyshire was 64 for 4. It's only 3 runs behind.
There is the 2 extra wickets.
But it's the 2 extra wickets that will ultimately cost them. You would have thought.
They are slightly behind the rate, aren't they? Only slightly.
Yeah, not much. Though. You look at Duckworth Lewis. They're ahead on Duckworth Lewis. So anyway, Matty McKinnon's going to bowl the 10th over of the innings. My prediction in the media, the press box, the written press box at the other end of the media centre was completely wrong. I thought India would probably get these in 12. McKinnon in and bowls. This one is pushed out into the offside, fielded by Masood. It bounces off his knee, but he does okay because he doesn't allow them to get through for the single.
Yeah, they got away with that one there. Masood did. Just knee it towards McKinnon.
What is he doing, for goodness sake? Next delivery is swept, and swept hard. Oh, Cartwright, well, that bounced over his head. He put in a dive out there and deep. It was a terrific dive, but he couldn't do anything to stop it. It just hit something and leapt. And goes for 4 runs. A little unfortunate for Hilton Cartwright out there in the square leg boundary. Yadav moves on to 6 and India to 71 for 2.
Yeah, it was this difficult sort of chance there as well. Looked like he had it, but then it just sort of...
Yeah, just leapt off the surface, didn't it? Next delivery is swept again. He'll get this one, Cartwright, because it goes straight to him. He's not the kind of fielder who looks like he lets a ball go through his legs. It gets down into the long barrier as well. 72 for 2. Yadav moves on to 7. I'm not a big fan of this one either, if I'm honest.
They're getting a bit louder though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Northants now need 30 from 9 balls. It looks like they're going to fall to defeat against Leicestershire at Grace Road. Next delivery from McKinnon is cut, and it beats the man on the edge of the 30-yard circle. Dahl is quick there out on the boundary, and they come back for a second. They probably don't realise how quick Anuj Dahl is, but they get back comfortably enough. Huda moves to 23 off 18. It's 74 for 2. So that Yorkshire game is the one that's going to cause the most angst now. Well, for me anyway. It's still going well, but they lost a couple of wickets now. That one is drilled into the ground by Huda and straight back to Matty McKinnon. The 133 for 3 after 11, Yorkshire. 133 for 4 after 11 overs and 1 ball. They need 106 off 53. Just starting to unravel a little bit for the Vikings. McKinnon bowls, and that one is cut out to Anuj Dahl out on the cover boundary. They go through for another single. Huda moves to 24, 75 for 2 at the end of the over on the halfway stage. So Derbyshire was 70 for 4, 8 runs off that over from Matty McKinnon. He's now bowled 2 overs, 1 for 11. Aitchison 2 overs, 1 for 12. Mark Watt 3 overs for 21. Scrimshaw 2 overs for 20, and Alex Hughes 1 over for 10. And George Scrimshaw's back. I'm not answering that question. I'll get lynched. The question is Babar Azam or Virat Kohli?
Oh, wow.
Know your audience, Dave. Know your audience. I'm not answering that question.
No comment.
But at the moment, Babar Azam. Here's George Scrimshaw in from the city and bowls. That's a quick delivery that Huda lifts out towards the members' pavilion. Dahl is quick, gets to the ball now, keeps it in, and they get 2. He is such a good fielder, Anuj Dahl.
Just so quick, isn't he?
Oh, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
He puts in a lot of work as well, Dahl does.
Yeah. Well, 2 players who are generally at the ground first on match days are Anuj Dahl and Brooke Guest, who's always here first. He's got the batting and the keeping to look after. 77 for 2, Scrimshaw in, bowling to Huda, who edges this one down to third man, and it's not stopped by either the wicketkeeper or Mark Watt, and it goes for a boundary. And he's a little unfortunate there, George Scrimshaw, because I think he got it finer than he was expecting there. Did Deepak Huda, but because he got it so fine and it went past the keeper, it meant that Watt couldn't get round to stop it. 30 from 22 for Hudder now, 81 for 2.
Yeah, he's sort of going along nicely now, isn't he? Hudder, 30 off 22. Sort of started off quite slowly, but it shows what you can do in T20 cricket. If you can get yourself in, you can just go on and fire, can't you, when you need to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hudder on 30, 81 for 2. Scrimshaw bowls. It was a slower delivery from George Scrimshaw, I think. That's what it looked like to me. And it's turned into the leg side by Hudder, who moves to 31, 82 for 2.
Yeah, that one definitely came down a little bit slower than we're used to seeing from Scrimshaw.
The next question from Vance is Lancashire or Yorkshire? Well, it's a no-brainer for me. Probably a no-brainer for you. No, when you're from down south, of course, aren't you?
Yeah, originally, but obviously I do live in Yorkshire, so.
Yeah, Lancashire for me all day long. 82 for 2. Hudder on 31. Yadav on 7. He's on strike and he pulls this into the leg side. There's a run around the boundary here for Hilton Cartwright. They'll come back for a second as he throws in from the deep. And they move on to 84 for 2 now. They do indeed. Thank you to Martin, who's just reminded me that there's an update coming up. If he hadn't have reminded me then, I'd have completely forgotten about it. I just no idea what this music is in my ears, by the way. Got 84 for 2. They're just moving ahead now, India. Just easing ahead, I think it's fair to say. Scrimshaw just waddles at the top of his mark. Now he's on his way in and bowls. That one's turned into the leg side. There's a chase. It's a race between Dahl and Cartwright. And Dahl can't pick the ball up. Just gets away from him. And the ball is thrown in by Cartwright. 86 for 2.
You don't see that very often.
You don't. Oh, you're right. You're right. He's just telling everybody to upload their sets if you're an aspiring DJ, which I'm clearly not. 86 for 2. Yadav on 11. Hudder on 31. The partnerships were 30 off 19. And Scrimshaw is in and bowls. That one is uppercut for 6. That's a terrific shot. All the way in front of us for 6. And Yadav moves on to 17 at the end of the over. Well, Martin, I think India will probably win this game. They're going very nicely. 92 for 2 now. We've just finished the 11th over with an uppercut from Surya Kumar Yadav for 6, just down below us into the sight screen underneath the media centre. He's on 17 from 9, and Deepak Hudder has got 31 from 23. They put on 36 off 20 deliveries. Sanju Samson, who was going nicely, was well caught by Lears Deploy in the deep off the bowling of Matty McKinnon for 38. But I think India are going to win this one. As expected, they're 92 for 2 after 11 overs. They need 59 more to win. That's the last update of the evening. 92 for 2, and Matty McKinnon is going to bowl the next over from the racecourse, and it's cut out by Hudder out towards Dahl in the deep, and they go through for a single. They move to 93 for 2.
You picked that one up better, Dahl did then, compared to the last over.
17 off that Scrimshaw over. That's a lot. 3 overs for 37. He's bowled now, slightly better than last week. As in comes McKinnon, that one chopped away, and it's a good half stop on the edge of the 30-yard circle. I'm going to guess who it is. I've no idea. Is it Alex Hughes?
I think it is Hughes.
Yeah. He looks too tall to be Alex Hughes. It might be Cartwright, you know. He hasn't got the white thing on his... Oh, he's out. He's been miles away over there when he can't, right? Anyway, McKinnon comes in and bowls. This one's pulled into the leg side. It might be in between a couple of fielders here. Lewis Rees puts the dive in. That's excellent work from Rees, and Deploy sends the ball back in. I think they've come back for 2. It's 96 for 2 now as Hudder moves on to 34. Partnership worth 40 off 23. Excellent work by Lewis Rees down to our right-hand side, though.
Yeah, that was top fielding. Looked like it had beaten him all ends up there.
Next delivery is pulled again into the leg side. And this one's better placed because it goes in between Lewis Rees and Leas Deploy for 4 runs off the bat of Deepak Hooda, who moves to 38 now off 26 deliveries. The 100's up for India, 100 for 2. These are top-class operators, let's not forget. From a Derbyshire perspective, our Indian viewers will already know that they are top-class operators because they'll see an awful lot of them. We see slightly less as McKiernan bowls, and the ball is defended back to him by Hooda. But these are some very, very fine cricketers. Interesting question from Dom. I don't think we do. Well, I'll read the question out in a minute. In comes this next delivery from McKiernan as it's guided out into the offside by Hooda, who moves on to 39, 101 for 2 at the end of the over. 9 runs off that one from Matty McKiernan. And India now need exactly 50 to win this game here at the Incora County Ground. It's been a very entertaining evening so far, though. Dom asks, do you think we'll have a chance of seeing George Scrimshaw make the England T20 side? Still needs a bit of work, but I'd easily place him among the top 5 T20 bowlers in the Blast this year and last, although he says seems like the in-house oh no, that's somebody else. Or will it be a case of play for a county we recognise before that'll happen? Don't start me on that. Alex Hughes is back. That one is lifted into the leg side. This will be a good catch. Oh, he's been put down by Anuj Dal in the deep. He's furious with himself. It would have been a terrific catch because he had some ground to make up there. But it's the kind of catch you expect Dal to make. In the end, Hooda picks up 2 more, I think. He moves on to 41, does he? Is it 102? Oh, the scoreboard's gone mad. 103 for 2, I think. Oh, did they not run?
I don't know.
They must have run, surely. Next delivery's turned up into the leg side. They only got 1. That's Yadav who's on strike now. So they picked up 1, 102 for 2, and now becomes 103 for 2. And Dal, well, he would have expected to have taken that catch.
Yeah, I think he had it in his hands as well, which is what he'd be most frustrated by is that, and the fact that he's hit the floor and it's then just fallen out.
Yeah, he had to put the dive in, so he was not quite parallel with the ground, but not far off. Hughes bowls, cut away, out towards the backward point boundary. The man runs around it. It's McKiernan. He can't get there. And the ball goes for 4 more. And the end is rapidly approaching now, you would suggest, for Derbyshire and for India. 107 for 2, 44 more runs required. Back to the live action elsewhere. Northamptonshire needs 6 off 2 balls. Oh my word. 209 for 6 as this next delivery from Hughes is played into the leg side. They're chasing 215 to win. They're 210 for 6 off what was clearly a wide, because they've still got 2 runs to get the 2 balls to get the 5 runs they require for the victory that would put Derbyshire under a bit more pressure on Sunday. I think it's fair to say. Here comes Alex Hughes again from the city end. Bowls, and that one is cut away, but straight to the man at backward point, Ben Aitchison. Dot ball. Yadav remains on 19 from 12 balls. Hooda has 45 from 31. 108 for 2. 43 required for victory. I've got no preference between Sussex and Essex. This next one is swept, and that's going to be 4 runs as well. That's a really nice shot from Yadav, who moves to 23 at the end of the over. And India up to 112 for 2. The Alex Hughes over cost 11 runs. And India, well, they're just upping the pace here. Derbyshire at the moment can't quite live with them.
It's a well put together innings, isn't it, from India? And I think it's what you expect to see from such a world class side like them. But they're just showing how you can start off quite steady and then you hit that 12 over mark and you just carry on.
Northamptonshire have just lost Jimmy Neesham off the penultimate ball of the innings for 50, a 23-ball 50. Jimmy Neesham, the former Derbyshire man. They're 210 for 7. They need 215 to beat Leicestershire, and that one could end in a tie with a boundary. Tom Taylor has been joined by Graham White in the middle. Here's Mark Watt for Derbyshire against India here at the county ground. And Hudder just guides the first ball of the over out into the offside for a single. So a remarkable finish on the cards at Grace Road. Absolutely remarkable. 210 for 7. They need 215. They've got one delivery. I'm not sure who's bowling it, because one bowler's bowled 3 overs and 5 balls, and the other bowler's bowled 3 overs and 1 ball. I think it's Ben Mike. Looks like Rehan Ahmed is injured. Next delivery from Watts, wide of the off stump and cut away. There's a chase around the boundary for Anuj Dal. Away to our left-hand side. He gets there. Can't prevent them from coming back for the second. No. Yadav moves to 25, 115 for 2.
Yeah, that was a 24-yarder as well.
Was it? I missed that.
Yeah.
I'm too busy. I'm getting so excited about what's happening at Grace Road.
so many scores going
I cannot imagine ever being excited by anything going on at Grace Road that doesn't involve Derbyshire. 115 for 2 here. As Watt is in around the wicket. That's a good delivery because it's played straight back to him by Yadav, who remains on 25. Just waiting for the final. Oh, they've just bowled a wide. 4 now from the final delivery, so a boundary would give Northamptonshire victory. In goes Watt and bowls. It's driven straight back to him. He dives over the top of it. And Yadav picks up another single to move to 26 and India to 116 for 2. Of course, all this will be irrelevant if Derbyshire go on to beat Durham on Sunday. But at the moment, Ben Mike is bowling to Graham White at Grace Road. In comes this next delivery from Watt. It's driven up down the ground, up towards Ben Aitchison, who finds himself at long off. Hudder moves to 47. India to 118 for 2. I just wish he'd get on with bowling this last ball, Ben Mike. What on earth is going on at Grace Road? In comes the next delivery from Mark Watt. That's slapped out into the offside. That is racing towards the boundary, and it's too quick even for Anuj Dal to reach. And it's 4 more, and it's another boundary to Yadav, who moves on to 30, 121 for 2 at the end of the over. 9 runs from that one. 14 gone now, and India need 30 to win. And they've got 6 overs in which to get them, and that is a fairly straightforward proposition, you would have thought.
Yeah, well, it's taken them 2 more overs than you did say earlier on.
Yes. It gives me no pleasure.
It's good from the Derbyshire bowler's point of view.
Yeah.
Give him a bit of confidence there.
There's Big Ben. Get him on. Get him a couple more overs under his belt. Ben Aitchison, he's bowled 2 overs for 12. He's got a wicket as well. Picked up a wicket in his first over. As Hilton Cartwright took the catch to dismiss Gaikwad. And I can tell you that Northamptonshire have lost to Leicestershire by 1 run at Grace Road. 1 run. 213 for 7. In reply to Leicestershire's 214 for 6, and I'm assuming that's over, even though it says Northants need 2 runs to win. They don't actually have any more deliveries to face. So,
what does that mean for Derbyshire then, Fletch?
Well, it means I'll tell you in a minute. Here's Ben Aitchison in from the City and bowls the leg side wide. If if Leicestershire and Birmingham both win tonight, Yorkshire. Derbyshire will qualify for the quarterfinals. Then it's a matter of where they finish in that top 4. Yeah, and we can go through that potentially before, perhaps not before this game's. Oh, this one's been lifted down to fine leg, and the bounce completely fools George Scrimshaw and goes for 4. And it's a 50 for Hudder, who moves to 51 with that boundary. 126 for 2. It's just turned around the corner, really. And George Grimshaw didn't cover himself in glory. It looked as though it bounced and reared up at him. But that's a decent knock from Hudder. 34 deliveries.
Almost looked like it sort of hit him in the face as it went past.
Yeah, 5 fours and a 6. And now he slapped that one back over the extra cover boundary for 6. Wow. That was some shot. That really was some shot. Ben Aitchison taking a bit of stick here, but it's not really down to him. It's down to the fact that Deepak Huda's a very, very good batsman indeed.
Yeah, when you're bowling at someone who's in the form that he's in at the moment, I think you've got to hope that your sort of magic ball pays off, and it's not quite worked out for Derbyshire here.
Now, 132 for 2, 19 required now. That one is guided backward a square all the way along the floor. Matty McKinnon comes around to do the filling. They go back for a second and get there comfortably enough. 134 for 2. Yes. So did that all make sense?
Yes.
If a Leicestershire win, which has happened, and a Birmingham win means that Derbyshire qualify because Yorkshire play Leicestershire in their final match on Sunday, and of course both can't take 2 points, and if one of them takes one, they both do, and then they wouldn't both be able to overtake Derbyshire. I think that's how it works.
Yes.
Derbyshire can still finish top though, as this one is driven straight to the man at. He's caught it. He's caught it. He's claiming the catch, and the finger goes up from the umpire. Alex Hughes takes the catch. Ben Aitchison has a second wicket. It was crashed, absolutely crashed by Huda out towards extra cover. I think he dropped it on his boot, and then caught it on the rebound.
Yeah, that's quite impressive. I think it's Hughes is a player who wouldn't claim it if he didn't think he caught it, and I think if he's certain he's caught it, it looked like it probably came off the boot because it did look like it went down, but you didn't see it hit the floor.
No.
So it's a good catch that is in the end.
Ben Aitchison, 2 wickets on his T20 debut. Huda goes for 59 off 38. It's been a terrific innings from him. He hit 2 sixes in the end, as well as those 5 fours, 37 deliveries, I beg your pardon. And Ben Aitchison has another wicket on his debut. His figures are now 2 for 25 from 3, and that's not bad at all.
Now, and Hughes is currently holding his hand like it's in a bit of pain.
Who's the tallest? Vanch asks. Well, that's George Scrimshaw. I've done Essex and Sussex. I'm only doing one more of these. Rapids or Bears, don't care. Don't care. Not in the slightest bit interested. Who do I think will be the next player from Derbyshire to earn an England colour? But Derbyshire, don't call them Derby, Wondersoul. It's Derbyshire. I have absolutely no idea. Brooke Guest, potentially, if he's still here. Dinesh Karthik, doesn't get any easier for Derbyshire. Dinesh Karthik is the new batsman. He's on strike, and Aitchison bowls to him, and he turns that into the leg side for a single. One more ball, I think, Aitchison over to go. Yorkshire are now, well, they're in a spot of bother because they're 171 for 5, chasing 239. They've got 29 balls to get 68 runs. So you would expect that Birmingham would go on to win that one. And it's all very, very good news for Derbyshire. Aitchison is in, and that one is flashed away down to third man for a 1-bounce 4, down towards the monstrosity to our right. And 139 for 3. So a slightly expensive over in which he took a wicket, 18 off it from Ben Aitchison, but he's on his way back. 3 overs, 2 for 30. His figures, almost certainly his final figures, because India need just 12 to win now.
Yeah, I think India is sort of just showing their class, aren't they?
Yeah.
They just know where to hit each ball, and I think Derbyshire have put on quite a good show here, and Lewis Rees is coming on to bowl.
For the first time this season in T20 cricket, I think. I don't recall him bowling in T20 cricket. Dom says, last one from me for the night, you reckon? Good to see Ben back in the game after so long, absolutely. Who would you imagine opens on Sunday with Shani away? Back to Harry Kane, or will we go for something different? Interesting question. I'm not entirely sure. Rees around the wicket, bowls to Karthik, who I don't think he got any bat on that. The ball bounced back at a square on the offside. It is an interesting one because the replacement for Shan Masood is Hilton Cartwright, so he might open. I don't know if he has opened in the past.
I was going to say, is he an opener?
Don't know.
But it's a good question.
It's a terrific question. Hopefully it won't matter too much. As this, well, it will, because it's their last group match and they've got a knockout coming up after that. Ball crashed out square on the offside by Karthik, who moves on to 2, 140 for 3, 11 to win. Yorkshire have lost a 6th wicket now. They need 61 off 25. They're going to lose that one. I said that about Northants, mind you, and then Jimmy Neesham came in and Scored a quick quiet half century. Around the wicket goes Rees and bowls. That one comes off a pad and will be a leg by. Didn't come off a pad, and it's a wide and a run as well. I beg your pardon. 2 more to the India total. They move on to 142 for 3 now and only need 9 to win. I thought that hit something. Perhaps his bat hit his pad.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure there.
Perhaps I'm just imagining it.
Don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Rees around the wicket, bowls. This one is turned into the leg side, up towards mid-on. In off the boundary comes Matty McKiernan to do the fielding. Kartik moves to 3. 142 for 3. Yadav does not have enough time or enough runs to play with to get himself a half century now. He's on 34 from 18. He's batted really nicely. I'll do my best to fill in the blanks as far as the qualification is concerned as well. Before we go off air, that one swung. And Yadav can't do anything with it. I moved a lot in the air, didn't it?
Yeah. It's he's getting it to move quite a bit out the hand, I think, and then he's a good bowler, Rees is.
Yes, he is.
He's been a good player for Derbyshire for quite a few years now, and it's just nice to see him sort of back bowling again, isn't it?
Yeah, no question. 143 for 3. In he goes, and that one is clipped up towards long on for a single. Matty McKiernan does the fielding. Yadav moves to 35. 144 for 3-7 to win. Yeah, it is really good to see him bowling again. I could look it up, I suppose, but I'm fairly sure he hasn't bowled in the Blast this season. I'm 100% certain he hasn't bowled in the Blast. That's a full delivery wide of the off stump and signalled wide. 145 for 3 with 1 ball of Lewis Rees's first and potentially last over still to be bowled.
It's nice to see such a crowd of sort of stuck around as well, haven't they?
Yeah, that's been a terrific crowd. And they're going to be mobbed, the Indian players, when they leave the field. I'm sure the stewards will have it all on. If you are listening inside the ground, don't run on the pitch, please. That one was cut away out to the offside boundary. Kartik moves on to... No, he doesn't. Yadav moves on to 35. 146 for 3. And it looks as though Big George is going to... They're going to bring him on and say, right, we need to defend 5 off this over, George. 146 for 3 means that Lewis Rees only conceded 7 runs of his solitary over. And Yorkshire, they only 54 off 21. 48 off 20. Oh dear, they just hit a 6. 191 for 6. They're not giving up, Yorkshire.
Going to go down fighting Yorkshire.
You wouldn't expect them to give up, would you? Really? It's a mammoth total from Birmingham Bears. Wonder if they're over to one side at Headingley. Scrimshaw then. It's the 17th over. He's in and bowls to Kartik, who turns this away into the leg side. That might go between the 2 fielders. No, Aitchison is there, picks up and gives it to Hilton Cartwright. He throws the ball in. They do come back for a couple. Kartik moves to 6. 148 for 3. 3 to win. 1 blow away.
Tell you what, the crowd would really love to see a big 6
to
finish this off.
I think if they get a big 6, it'll be behind the wicket.
A little ramp for 6.
Yeah, or even a slice. He bowls, and that one is just dabbed into the offside. No, he's not going to get a single. McKiernan comes racing in to do the field, and Kartik moves to 7. He's going to leave it to Yadav to get the 6. 149 for 3 now. 2 to win. And we'll have a quick look, we'll have a quick wrap here, and I'll have a quick look at the T20 Blast Northern Group table. And try and get my head around the fact that Derbyshire almost certainly qualified with a game to spare. And after they lost 4 of their first 6. I think they were 2 and 4.
Yeah, we were a bit unsure if they were going to be able to do it at one point, weren't we?
Had a terrific run since then. This next delivery surprises Yadav a little bit. A bit more bounce from George Scrimshaw. It's pushed out into the onside. In comes Anuj Dal to do the fielding. It remains 149 4-3, and 2 runs required for victory.
Yeah, that last ball from Scrimshaw seemed to sort of hit the net quite hard, and it sounded like it hit the bat hard as well. So I think he was practicing his pull shot there.
A bit high
Yeah,
up,
that was, but I'm not sure it
high
was
up
on.
on the bat as well, possibly. Scrimshaw bowls, that's down the leg side, and the scores are level because it's a wide. Slightly disappointing. They don't want to win on a wide. I don't think this crowd wants a victory on a wide. Look at them all gathering on the behind the fence at the far end. Dear oh dear, it's going to be absolute chaos in here at the end of this game, I fancy. 150 for 3.
I'm going to stay in here for a bit, I think.
Yeah.
In the safety.
I've got to go out and get an interview, but...
Don't get mobbed.
No. Vanch wants Sweet Caroline one last time, well, we don't. 150 for 3, Scrimshaw bowls. It's turned into the leg side by Yadav, and India go through for the single to win this game by 7 wickets with 3 overs and 2 balls to spare. So 20 balls in total. It's been fairly comfortable from India, but it's been a good run out for Derbyshire, who've got the big game, of course, coming up on Sunday. And I've absolutely no doubt that all the people who've been watching on the subcontinent will be tuning in again on Sunday at 2:30 our time to watch Derbyshire against Durham. Perhaps not. 151 for 3 in the end. Yadav finishes on 36 not out, and Kartik on 7 earlier on. Samson made 38, and Deepak Hooda with a very impressive 59. India win it comfortably, and they will win that beautiful bit of porcelain, although they're not allowed to take it out of the ground, so I'm not entirely sure what they've got to gain.
Just get a few pictures with it.
Yeah, but it's been a
Put it in the scrapbook.
been a good night's cricket, Lauren.
It has, yes. It's been a good game. I think people sort of think these sort of tour games, they can either go sort of one way, can't they? Sometimes you look at them and think Derbyshire might have been rolled by India, some people might have said, but they really put on a fight and sort of showed why they've been doing so well in the Blast this year. And there's some good players, really world-class players as well in that India side. So for Derbyshire to put up the fight that they did, I think that's a good start for them there.
Yeah, it's a very decent bit of warm-up for India, who play Northamptonshire on Sunday in their second warm-up match before the first of the T20 internationals against England next Thursday. And a pretty decent run out for Derbyshire as well, who played Durham in their final T20 Blast North Group match on Sunday. That one's at 2:30. Hopefully you'll be able to join myself and Lauren Tuffrey for commentary on that game. There's Tom Skinner taking the porcelain across. Look, very nice too. I think it's worth a few bob, actually.
I wonder where they keep it.
I don't know. Somewhere safe. Derbyshire's innings, well, a lot of players got in, but they got out. Wayne Madsen, 28, 27 to Hilton Cartwright on Debbie, 23 to Brooke Guest, 24 to Alex Hughes, and then 20 from Matty McKinnon later on. They made 150 for 8, but it was never going to be enough to beat India, who trotted home with 20 balls to spare. Well done to Ben Aitchison on his T20 debut with 2 for 30 from his 3 overs. The other wicket was taken by Matty McKinnon, 1 for 20 from 3 overs for him. George Scrimshaw, 3 overs and 4 balls, went for 42. Mark Watt, 4 overs for 30. Alex Hughes, 2 overs for 21. And Lewis Rees bowled the 1 over and conceded 7 runs. So we already know that this evening Northamptonshire have lost to Leicestershire by a run. Nottinghamshire have beaten Durham by 4 wickets. Worcestershire, remarkably, have beaten Lancashire by 29 runs. And in the other game that's still going, it looks as though Birmingham are going to win that one. Yorkshire are now 197 for 8. They need 42 off 12 balls. Ooh. That's tricky.
It's tricky. Not impossible.
Not impossible, no.
But it is tricky.
It's tricky. So at the moment, as things stand and the way things look like they're going to work out, Birmingham would move up to 18 points from their 13 matches. Lancashire and Derbyshire on 16 points from 13, and remember, Lancashire play Birmingham. I think it's at Old Trafford. It must be at Old Trafford because there's a test match at Edgbaston. They play Lancashire at Old Trafford to Birmingham on Sunday. Yorkshire would stay on 15 points, and they'd have played the same number of games as Derbyshire. Northamptonshire have finished. They're on 14. Leicestershire have got 1 game to go. They're on 14, but it's against Yorkshire. and they can't both win. If it's washed out, Yorkshire would move to 16 where Derbyshire are, but Leicestershire couldn't catch them. If Leicestershire win, they move on to 16 points. But I suppose it's not 100%, is it? It's not 100% yet, but it's as near as damn it. It's as near as damn it. Derbyshire look like they're going to qualify for the knockout stages of the T20 Blast. We will find out. We're going to speak to Ben Aitchison as well fairly shortly, which is good news. You'll hear from Ben Aitchison in Breakfast tomorrow with Donna Allos on BBC Radio Derby. If you don't already listen to Donna, you should. She'll be on from 6 o'clock in the morning, and you'll be able to hear from Ben Aitchison throughout the morning on the sports bulletins as well. My thanks to Lauren. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
We'll see you on Sunday. I don't think we'll get as many new followers on Sunday for a Durham game. In fact, we might get more abuse than followers from the Durham supporters, because they'll be listening to our commentary, and they're down at the bottom of the table. They've been woeful this season. 3 wins from 13. Worcestershire, that was only their second win tonight of the competition. They've lost 10 times in the T20 Blast. Notts, of course, can't qualify either, which is a real shame. 151 for 3 India finished on. Thanks to Lauren, and thanks for your company this evening. We will speak to you again from the county ground on Sunday. We start at 2:30.